Okay, we're gonna try this. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Ooh, interesting day. So y'all read the thumbnail, breaking news. Keith Thurman is preparing himself for the duck he feels is coming for him. Ooh. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when first we practice to deceive. I can say that about a couple of things that I'm going to be talking about today. But y'all know I'm going to get into that and other things. and y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T or just plain old TT. Y'all know how I do at the top of my hour, but I do want to give a shout out to my boy, Quentin Brandley is in the house. What's up, Quentin? One of my favorite Errol Spence fans. I guess you probably like, what Miss T gonna talk about today with this Errol stuff? Bold and understanding is in the building too. Salute. What's poppin', kings? But anyway, y'all know at the top of my hour, we do a water check. And here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that everybody drinks at least 100 ounces of water. You know what? I say this all the time. Somebody actually emailed me and said, why you keep saying that? I say it because it's important. It needs to be repeated so many times that it becomes second nature. A lot of people, especially black people, are having trouble in their life because they be dehydrated. Y'all don't understand how dehydration causes damage. And it happens a lot, sometimes without you even knowing. You have to stay hydrated. I'm sorry. Not dehydrated, but hydrated. It's very important. So, everybody has a cause or a pet peeve or whatever. This is an easy fix, I believe, in America. And I don't mean it just for black people. I mean for all of us, all human beings. We don't drink water like we used to. And we should, increase our uptake in water. But here at Boxing Fans, we advocate at least 100 ounces. And we say if you're not going to be a big water drinker, at least twice a day, you should drink water. That's first thing in the morning, before your toes hit the ground, before you get into your regular routine, like washing your face, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, or what have you, drink you 8 ounces of water. It should be on your nightstand ready to go. It should be ready to go. And just drink your 8 ounces. Learn how to drink water room temperature. I prefer it cold. That's why I have a mini fridge in my room. It ain't gonna break your pockets when it comes to the electric bill. I have a big behind house, and my electric bill last month was $120. Just to give you an example, it never really changes that much. It never really changes that much just because I have a mini fridge. But I like to keep my water, cold. So I get up, I go to the fridge, get me some water. Sometimes I have it on a nightstand. It don't matter, but drink water as soon as you get up, as soon as your eyes open, the engine has started. If you think of your body like an engine and the water is the lube, it's going to help everything move efficiently and in a timely manner, get things done. There's a lot of stuff that need to go down. So the water helps everything move along the way it's supposed to. The second time that you should drink water is at night before you go to bed. Like after you get out the tub, after you get out the shower, you lay down, you're going to read a book, you're going to read a magazine article or look at a program or two, 30-minute program or two. That's when you drink your water. Even the American Heart Association agrees that drinking water right before you go to sleep like that is good for your heart. You should always be willing to do something that's good for your heart. I remember when they put out years ago that a glass of wine is good for your heart. I don't drink alcohol. So I was like, man, I can't do that. You know what also I do for my heart? I eat aspirin. Aspirin is good for your heart. Anybody who be on a daily regimen of aspirin has a good heart. No bull crap. That stuff is real. But anything that can help you health wise, you should want to do. A lot of reads go on at night when you do get into your deep sleep, and make no mistake about it. Everybody should have a deep sleep that goes through all the phases of sleep, 1, 2, 3, or 4 every night. So a lot of reads going on, revamping, rebooting, recharging, recleaning. You're making new cells every fucking day. You're making about 1,000. You're making a lot of blood cells, red blood cells, that is, every day of your life. You need water to help that move along. Water is a life sustainer. And at night, the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories in their sleep. That's a lot. You're not even getting that in the workout in the gym. Like, if you do, you ain't doing that shit every day. I doubt if there's somebody out there that's saying, I'm going to get 1,000 calories burned per day when I go to the gym. Hell, that's some elite athletes do. Like a Floyd Mayweather or like a Michael Phelps or people like that. But they also eating a lot too. So I'm just talking about the average Joe Blow or Jane Blow. We ain't doing that shit in the gym. So that's a good thing, right? Drink your water to help all that stuff go along, and you won't be dehydrated. But just keep up your water drinking no matter what season it is, winter, summer, spring, and fall. But now that we got through the water part, let's do a little housekeeping. So look, in my humblest voice ever, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Don't hit the subscribe button if you already subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you have, you already locked in. And if you're watching me on replay, please hit the like and share button. Leave a comment. I do read them. I do take heed. I have my own mind, but I can change my mind if you shoot logic my way and you come with some rational thoughts. If you have any question about anything I've ever said in the past or now, you can hit me up at boxingfanstalk at gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk at gmail.com. I look at my email too, and I read them. Sometimes I could build the show just on what you guys email me. So don't be afraid to email me, hit me up, ask any questions, state your mind. I respect all opinions. Just as long as you respect mine, we good. And y'all see the Cash App right there. I'm not monetized yet. So Boxing Fans Talk TV, that's the Cash App. Don't be afraid to hit me up through that. I use all y'all cash apps, and I thank you all for the cash apps to put back into the show. I buy lighting, I buy the green screen, I buy the mixers, I buy all this stuff for the show. And that's what I use your cash app for. And I want y'all to know, for those of y'all who looking, I come on between Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't give a care what the thumbnail say. That's a YouTube issue. They do that to everybody. I don't know what the hell that is about. But do tune in every day. And I promise you, I won't give you fluff. I ain't gotta make up nothing. So the only time you won't see me is when ain't shit to talk about. We are in football season, by the way, and basketball season. So you know how that roll. You know how that roll. A lot of times there ain't gonna be much to talk about in boxing. But let me send a shout out again to Q, my boy Quentin Brandley, my boy Bold and Understanding. ATL Unanimous is in the house. What's poppin', King? He said, salute, Queen T. The XO Factory was popping with you, King. He said, one love, Queen T. President Jafar, salute. I ain't seen you in a minute. You working hard, ain't it? What's poppin', King? So let's get into it. Y'all see the thumbnail. I said Keith Thurman is preparing himself for the duck he feels is coming. And there's a good reason why I say that. Keith Thurman, call him the future whisperer or something, because a lot of shit he say, we don't take seriously. But then we find out, shit, that nigga won't lie. He already talking like he has a contingency plan. This is why I say that he's preparing himself for the big duck. Because he's already talking like, well, if that nigga move up one way or another, I'm going to get to them belts. They say, I don't care where they may find themselves or who hands they're in. I'm going to be champion again. But he was reiterating that Errol Spence's new plan is after he fight Bud, he was moving up. Well, we know that Bud fight ain't going down. And, I think Errol Spence and them and his team, mostly his team, but I blame Errol Spence because he's complicit in it. But I clearly see, from my opinion, that it's his team. His teams is calling the shot, or in the Navy, as we say, they driving the boat. They the ones making the decision. They the ones who putting people together, telling us, the fans, what we rather see. And Errol does nothing about it. In his own words, he not worried. He trusts Al and them complicity. He trusts them with everything. He trusts them with his life. He don't even have to show up for no negotiations. Terrence Crawford said he was nowhere to be found. From Errol's perspective, he don't need to be found. Because Al been doing good for him thus far. He don't need to come around because Al know what he want. Remember that song? I got what you want. Got what you need. Remember that song? So I'm just saying, that's how Errol feel. But is Errol considered a duck? I'm asking you guys. Because he's been ordered by the WBC. And I would be the first to tell y'all, the WBC do some foul shit. They do some foul shit. And y'all know how I feel about Deontay Wilder. So look what I'm about to say. How you say it, Q? Watch this here. Watch this here. Check this out. By them making Keith Thurman number one, that was foul. He didn't deserve it. And I'm a Keith Thurman fan. That was foul. They did that earlier this year just because he fought Mario Barrios. It was foul. No other way to put that. That's gamemanship. That ain't playing fair. That's gamemanship. You know who else they did that with or for? Deontay Wilder. And everybody in here know that I'm team Wilder all day. Deontay Wilder, based on the conclusions that they made, because I couldn't make the conclusion. I don't think that Wilder lost that third fight or that first fight for sure. But it ain't up to me. The history books have been written on this. So how did Deontay Wilder become number one? Y'all see this money grab. Y'all see this unfair play. So Keith Thurman shouldn't have even been in contingency to even have to face Errol Spence as far as the WBC concerned. But just in case you get to thinking that that's kind of weak, like how I feel. That's kind of weak for y'all to put that fight together or force that fight. Here come the nail in the coffin. The WBA coming through like little bro. We agree with the WBC. We agree with the WBC. I just read to y'all yesterday what the new power move is with the WBA. We're going to see how they act in the future. But right now, the big honcho, the big kahuna on the block is the WBC. Errol Spence, he always have to satisfy the WBC. Never mind the other belts, sanctioning bodies that he has. He don't have to satisfy their rules and regulations. WBC get back-to-back satisfaction. But WBA was complicit with them. Now, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence were slated to fight on December 17th. But we know what Errol said. He don't want that fight. He don't give a care. He don't care if y'all don't ever find Waldo. He don't want the fight with Keith. He emphatically said that shit. He never will do it. He don't want it. His reasonings, though, I got to be honest. Watch this here, Q. His reasonings for not wanting to fight Keith is stupid as a motherfucker. And it flies in the face what y'all say men are about. Because that's some crybaby shit. That's some whiny, motherfucking soft-ass shit. How y'all say when Adrian Broner says, shut that soft-ass shit up? That's what that was. His reasoning. And still don't make it right that the WBC forced that. And see, I can agree that far. The WBA, they own some shit too. Because they turn around and put the nail in the coffin, like I said. But they said, you got to February. The only reason why I think it was said like that is I think when Errol Spence heard that they was making them fight December 17th with Keith Thurman, either to save face or whatever, he was like, hell no, I ain't fighting that dude. I done told y'all what I told y'all. I ain't fighting him. It was a little tug of war right there. So the WBA feel like they'd come in, put the nail in, and give it a little bit more grace period. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying you got till February to get this done. So now, PBC, Errol Spence, they can wait till cooler heads prevail. Let me give Errol Spence some time to cool off. He'll come around and see it my way. I'm telling you, it's something wicked about the Emerald City, a.k.a. PBC. And Al Heyman, the Wizard of Oz, he's the Wizard of Oz. We all waiting for Toto to come back behind that curtain and pull them curtains back. Ain't that how you do it, Q? Because the Emerald City is something afoot at Emerald City. That's what PBC reminds me of. The Wizard of Oz. Everybody from so far away outside of the Wizard of Oz think that the Wizard of Oz is so grandiose. He's all-knowing. He's omnipotent. He's everything. He's the Alpha and the Omega. Everything. People making journeys. They following the yellow brick road to this nigga. And he don't got the people's best interest in heart. You can't tell me he do. I'm holler at you, Fred. Barbershop Conversation. You had me dying. I just saw your little clip. And I'm going to say, I know what you're saying. You taking your victory lap. I think I know who you talking to, or the masses, the group of people you're speaking to. You're laughing at the same time. You kind of like doing like a Charleston White type thing, you know. But I'll tell y'all this. I'm not repping Fred. I'm talking about the truth from what I see. Fred from Barbershop Conversation has said a lot of things that just are true. They've come true. And now he's sitting there like, I tried to tell y'all niggas. Fred, I seen you, boy. I was just laughing. I know you had a good time. I know exactly what you're saying without saying. But shout out to you, Fred. you had me dying laughing. But Fred been trying to warn y'all against the Emerald City too. I remember when Fred first started, been like, almost 3 years? It's been like 3 years. He been saying the same thing. Nobody believes him. Nobody believes him. And then the thing happens. Then he's like, I tried to told y'all. You know, then if everybody got to come to their realization on their own, Fred. So don't get frustrated, but everybody got to come to their realization on their own. I came to my realization about Emerald City this year. And I said, I ain't fucking with the Emerald City. I don't care if they do got the best balloon trip in all these parts. They ain't paying the nigga shit. They think because they the Emerald City, they ain't got to pay nobody. They doing people a disservice. It's almost like in the Emerald City, you know what you gonna have? You know how we always say everybody gets their end moment? When the Emerald City, that's exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get your moment. And they worse. Because like you can say what you want about Eddie Hearn. Say what you want. But this nigga pay his people. He ain't petty as a motherfucker. He let Andre out his contract. And they parted ways amicably, as far as we can see. He was like, I've tried to get you fights. I'm just not having no success with it. But before I let the clock run out on you, let me go ahead and let you go and see how well you can do it. But while he was there, y'all, Eddie Hearn paid this man. He probably became a millionaire fucking with Eddie Hearn. He won't get shit at the PBC like that. PBC got a stable of fighters, supposedly over 200 fighters and all this bullshit. But you only know about 7 or 8 of them bitches. That's all you know. I'm going to name the ones I know. Wilder, off the top of my head. You got Wilder, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, the Charlos, who else? The Russells, let's see. Tank. I guess Rolly works with them. I mean, off the top of my head, that's how far I got. Where are the other 190 of them? Sitting on the shelf. Let me guess. Sitting on the shelf. But you got people who will come into these chats and argue with you tooth and nail over fucking PBC, a.k.a. Emerald City. Y'all praise Emerald City, and I don't understand why. Emerald City ain't never did nothing for you. They ain't never put on a show for you. They like physically, like you. Emerald City is not even tangible. We don't even know if Al Heyman exists. Those stock photos, You can't even touch Emerald City. All you know is certain fighters out of Emerald City. But because your favorite fighter belongs and live and breathe in Emerald City and bow down to the Wizard of Oz, Al Heyman, you think Emerald City all that. Can't nobody say nothing bad about Emerald City. Well, they looking pretty bad. How the Errol Spence said they about to be a man with no land. What he meant by that? You ain't got no network. How you gonna showcase your fighters? Fox Sports is gone. They don't have it. Showtime has not done well, mainly because their boxing program, because even with Paramount restructuring, even with that going on, they willing to keep Showtime's lineup like their shows. Like, I don't know all the shows, but y'all know this one show called The Chi. I like the show. I didn't want to look at a Chicago show, but I actually like that show. And a lot of people like that show. That was a hit for Showtime. Boxing used to be a hit for Showtime. This shit didn't fall apart when Golden Boy was putting shit together. When Golden Boy had the stable, I know we want to hate on Golden Boy because he had the racist tweets or emails and all that. But when Golden Boy was putting on shows, Showtime was thriving. You never heard Golden Boy or Showtime say they ain't had the money. Miss me with the success stories for Emerald City. I don't care what they did before. When it come to boxing, they suck. We know why Golden Boy was so successful. You had Richard Schaefer at the helm. Never mind who you had at the helm. The point is, Golden Boy put on the majority of Floyd Mayweather fights. Yeah, Floyd said, I got my promotional company, but it wasn't really in effect. It was name only when he was fighting. Yes, Al advised him as a manager, but it was Golden Boy's promotional company where all that shit went down. And they had a stable of fighters. When Richard Schaefer left and Floyd pretty much retired, a lot of people lost. Boxing lost a little. He was the actual cash cow. He was the actual face of boxing. Talking about Floyd. So yes, there was a dip in interest, money, and everything in the business, but it was sustainable. But Al Heyman is not successful. He not. And look at how he do his fighters. He had no intention of ever putting a Bud and Errol fight because he don't want to. He got to use the Bud fight. I mean, the Errol, whoever got the belts, I should say, to leverage. He has to leverage that when he's shopping in network. I'm telling you, it would not surprise me if PBC start fighting on the zone. That will not shock me at all. Errol Spence said, I don't fight for ESPN. I'll never fight for ESPN. Well, what if fucking PBC get a contract with ESPN? What the fuck you gonna do now? What will you do, Errol Spence? The arrogance of all these people, it be killing me. It be killing me. And who know better how they get down than the Keith Thurman, who was once their darling. Keith Thurman's still a name. They know they can make money off of Keith. Keith ain't going nowhere. Keith in line with them. He was there in the beginning. He got the lion's share, if you will, of the money when they was just giving it away. Keith ain't forgot that shit. And because Keith's still down with Al, that's the only reason. Al don't mind putting Keith and Errol. Sure, a lot of us believe Errol gonna wash him. A lot of us believe that can happen. But I don't think he'll wash him, but I do think that Errol will beat Keith Thurman. I do think that. But anything is possible. anything is possible. But if Keith were to ever beat Errol Spence, it's still in-house. You're still in Emerald City. Emerald City, aka PBC, the maze that nobody can find their way out. The unbreakable maze is PBC. So let me get to some of this chat. Then I'm gonna drop the link. President Jafar said, "Tall shirt, Keith." He said, "Everybody calling Bud the Duck. We will see who the real duck is in the end." And D, ATL said, "Hell no, hell yes, ATL." Reginald is in the building. What's poppin'? King say, "Hey, Miss T, what's up?" He said he ducked Earl, fair game. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Two wrongs don't make a right, ATL. Reginald Peters said, "Miss T, that's that the second best fight, 147 Keith versus Earl." It could be that all they want, but you know, we going by with the words people say. You know, you shouldn't go for second best. You should be going for the best, right? Mr. Warren is in the building. Salute, King. Reginald says, "Stop hating on Earl." I'm not hating him. How do you hate when you tell the truth? I have yet to figure that shit out. I be wanting y'all to go get a brain scan. Man, get the fuck out of Emerald City. Maybe it's those. Remember when she was on her way to Emerald City in the Wizard of Oz and they fell asleep because of them flowers or some shit? Maybe they got some shit like that, and y'all stuck in the perpetual haze of that flower or something. Y'all in Emerald City like a mug. He said, "Laugh aloud, not that BLK Prime." Captain Ford, she is in the building with Papa King. He said, "What's good, Lady T? I use your clip and support your channel on my last video, education purpose." You good? You ain't got to explain. I already gave you permission, King. What's good with you? He said, "Fred don't know." Y'all can't hate on Fred when he right. Look, y'all got, listen, y'all famous for telling women we be too in our emotions. I'm going to need y'all to lead by example because all I see is y'all being in y'all emotions and crying. President Javar said, "Everybody got blinkers on when it comes to the PBC. Y'all call it Emerald City. Boo Boo can't sign with the PBC and get paid and fight Charlo. Probably not. Man, he probably don't want to. You hating on PBC for real. Why are you repping them? They not a fighter. What do they do for you? What is it? What is it that the PBC do for you?" Tay said Errol Spence fans convinced him not to fight Thurman. There is no good reason as to why Errol shouldn't fight Keith. Yeah, he can't be mad at some shit he doing. That's my thing. I don't know how to be mad at somebody who do the same thing. Like that would make me a hypocrite, right? I guess when you trapped in Emerald City and you smelling them flowers, I mean, you stuck. When a merge happens, a lot of programs get cut. It's called trimming the fat. Anything not making profit is dumped. Yeah. And that's what's going to happen with boxing side of the house with Showtime. And that's why I say they will be a man without no land. So what good is a stable of fighters if you can't showcase them? Where you going? Shouldn't you want to beat the itch out of a man who denied you a shot and get him out of the game forever? Exactly. I would want to retire his ass for real, for real. Errol shouldn't fight Keith because when Keith was champ, he didn't want to give Spence a chance. ATL, that's that soft shit. Like Adrian, what is that? Adrian Broner says, shut that soft shit up. That's crybaby shit. That's not what men do, right? That's what y'all say. I'm just, hey, I ain't no man. I'm just going by what y'all say men do. How does that make sense? That don't make sense. If it's the money fight, if it makes business sense, then what we talking about? Keith just want a final payday. And what's wrong with that? Not happening. That's karma for your ass. Hey, it might be. I would never get mad if the man want a final payday. Maybe the Wizard of Oz owe him 10 million because he always bring up that 10 million. So maybe, just maybe, you know how the Wizard of Oz, they like to take your money, promise you money, and then tell you, nah, we reinvested that back in our company, but we ain't giving you stocks and shit in the company. You ain't gonna get no return. You just gonna we'll give you your money back. But just hold on. And then hold that shit over your head. And then set up another fight. Promise you another payday. You already still owe me, nigga. Where Toto at when we need him? Toto, pull that curtain back on the Wizard of Oz. Al is successful and Bud isn't play games. Bud, I don't get that, Reginald. You gonna definitely have to sign in and explain that shit. Tay said, shouldn't you want to get the back end blood if a nigga play you out of some money and you get the chance to see that nigga, you gonna not see that nigga. I guess I don't know what you're saying, Tay. That sounds like some sucker shit to me. I get that, Tay. Resident said, Miss T is off tonight. I ain't off. Dude, you delusional. Don't blame your delusionality on my truth and me being off. I'm not off. I can't be off. I told the truth. What part of what I said is a lie? What part? If I was Errol, I would be itching to get my hands on Keith and beat the shit out of him. He gonna be scared for the rest of his life. And he probably could, because what I think is going on with Keith, I think Keith aged. I honestly think Danny Garcia did more damage. You know, sometimes you can win the fight and still lose. Y'all, we talk a lot of shit about Tyson Fury. He kind of alludes to that, He kind of alludes to that a lot. He keeps saying, I ain't the same ever since that fight. That's why the nigga was in tears upon finding out he had to do that third fight. Because even though he win, he losing. Like, you could go through some shit and be like, I don't ever want to do that again. And I think that's what happened with Keith Thurman when he fought Danny Garcia. I think Danny really did hurt him and fucked up some shit. Let's shout out to Danny. ATL said Keith wouldn't last 5 rounds. Body too weak for the body snatcher. You mean a nut digger. But yeah, I agree with you, ATL. And didn't give him a shot. Keith did the exact same thing Errol Spence was doing. He told Errol to get a belt and let him fight other champs to build up the fight. That's what Errol is doing. Errol Spence is exactly doing that. He is Keith Thurman 2.0. Jamal came out and said he was offered a big contract from the Zone. That nigga is getting pussy whipped by Al. Al got them boys push whipped. And then he said whipped. It was okay for Manny to want a final payday. For Manny to want a final payday, but not Keith. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they show their bias. There's nothing you can do about it. He can fight Duck Bud. There he go with the Duck Bud. I want y'all to know he has yet to explain how Bud is a duck. In current times, how is Bud ducking? He just gonna tell you feelings. He's never gonna tell you a fact. He's never gonna tell you a fact. In some kind of way, they don't understand the difference between 2022 and 2023. I thought this was something we learned in elementary. I thought I if I'm thinking right, I think I knew dates in the 2nd grade or 1st grade. I believe so. I mean, because before you even start school, you even understood the year in which you was born. You can ask a 5-year-old, when your birthday? And they gonna say, boom, 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 19, whatever, They're going to give you the year. You can ask them when their birthday. They can say the month and the day. And then you can turn to them and say, well, what year? And they'll tell you the year. But we got grown-ass people who act like they don't understand the year. It's just as simple as that. All my casuals that's listening through Facebook, how many of you guys understand the difference between years? 1 year is 2022, and the next year is 2023. How does what you do in 1 year stop, affect, or any kind of way get in the way of what you can do next year? They will never answer that question. That's how you know they're in their feelings and they're biased and they prefer to be delusional. It speaks to their credibility. Straight up, they have none. When they bold-faced lie to you like that. There's nothing you can do this year that can affect or stop what you do next year. Nothing. If I promise to take somebody to a concert in January next year, and I go to a concert every week in December of this year, that will not stop me from taking you to a concert in January of next year. No, it won't stop. If I do something every day of the month in December this year, it won't stop me from showing up to do whatever you want us to do next year in January, February, March, April. It won't stop. If you tell me you can't get with me, you can't fuck with me, you can't do nothing for me until next year, nothing I do this year will stop that. So, I mean, I know the casuals, and I know people out there listening. It's like, makes sense to me. That's common sense. That's just rational thinking. But when you hear Errol Spence or Errol Sexual talk about it, it won't be common sense to them. What you do this year stops you from doing stuff next year. That's how they think. It's not so common. But if you flip that around, it becomes common sense again. And that's the bias. That's what I had to learn. It's the bias in them. It's the delusional thoughts. They're in Emerald City. They smelling them that flower. They're under a spell. That's what it is. And their credibility is shot. You can't listen or believe anything else they say. If a person don't understand the difference between a year from the next year, they not on your level mentally. You can't understand nothing they saying. I'm sorry to say it like that, but I have to say it like that because I refuse to believe anybody that's on here that's grown. I don't care if from 18 up. I don't care if you was 5 years old up listening to this. You understand the difference between 2022 and 2023. It was not Bud who said, let's do it 2023. That was Earl, Floyd, and Al who said that. And they're the ones who run Emerald City. They're the ones, they were the A-side. They're the ones who putting the fight together. They're the ones who coming up with the money. And we're going to talk about Regis Prograis not getting paid, and we're going to show you that Bud was right again. It's so many things that happen that be showing up on the side of Bud that be making all these naysayers look crazy. And just oh my God. He the smartest motherfucker in the room. He's impervious to the flower smell in Emerald City. Damn. ATL said, Manny the GOAT. If a person does you wrong, if you get a chance for retribution, would you not want to seek that retribution? That's what Tay's saying. And I guess as long as it ain't Earl Tay, then yeah. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see that fight. But Earl ain't doing it. Yeah. And he don't have no good reason for not doing the ATF. You can be honest about that. But you not. You ain't gonna do that. That's what I meant, you know. He said y'all should push him to take the fight like how Al is doing. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. Cause there ain't no other way to say this shit. I know what Keith Thurman talking about. Keith Thurman ain't been wrong yet. Y'all can say what y'all want about Keith Thurman. He ain't been wrong yet. Yeah, the link is dropped. Reginald, I'm gonna let you come in here and explain your delusions. You know, only time y'all get to get out of Emerald City is when y'all come on this show. If he's not fighting Crawford or Boots, I'm ready for 154. We all are. Get out your feelings, Miss T. Come on. I'm not in my fifth. Again, ATS, I will take that. I will take that and listen to you. I promise I would. But tell me where I lied. Show me where I lied. And come with some real answers. To show me where I lied. I don't need to lie. And I'm not even talking in hyperbole. Why not fight him and get a payday if Keith is so easy? Y'all telling me if a company was going to give you millions for an easy task, you're not going to take that money? I guess that's what they telling you. I'll fight a motherfucker for $1,000. That was ATSA. Delusional Crawford fan. You, Miss T. Nah. How can I be delusional when I'm speaking facts? Miss T, I don't feel like cooking tonight now. I want to laugh again. I want to laugh too. We just talking facts. I'm not putting Earl down. I asked the question. If he don't face Keith Thurman, is he ducking? The shit hasn't happened yet. February has not come and gone. This will be speculation on everybody's part. Because he hasn't made a move yet. That's all I'm asking. The link is in the chat. Right now, you asked for the link. But I think this is how Keith Thurman is feeling. This is what I gathered or speculate from what Keith was saying. Keith is talking like it's a forlorn conclusion that Errol Spence is moving up, especially since the fight didn't happen with Bud and this year. But who's to blame for that? Earl is not making sense, and you guys letting him get off. I'm not even calling Earl a duck. I told you, for me, real talk, I think it's more the Wizard of Oz pulling the strings. And the problem with Earl, he just complies with everything the Wizard of Oz say. Because to him, the Wizard of Oz is the Alpha and the Omega. the be all, the end all. To him, that's Big Bro. That's Unc. That's the original OG. To Earl, because up until this point, he felt like he'd taken care of him so good. So I'm just saying. What's up, AJ?
Queen.
What's good?
What's going on?
What we got a somber mood today? We is all black.
No, I'm good.
Where the lights at? Why is black up in there?
Oh, I got my club going on back there. I got to check on the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but look, ATL, this ain't an argument thing. This ain't, we ain't going at each other's head.
I know that.
Keith said that, but I mean, I just asked the question.
I'm not arguing. That's why I like to get on here live. I want to argue. People take Texas wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not arguing.
No, I ain't saying we argue. We do get passionate. But I'm saying today wouldn't have been one of those times talk about this subject. Keith Thurman is feeling like the duck is coming.
As he should. As he should.
You think that'll be a duck? But a
No,
well-deserved duck.
I don't think it'd be a duck. I think it'd be a you did this shit to me. You know, Earl from the hood, like, you know what I'm saying? Once you do something to him, nigga ain't finna goddamn give you a chance too. You ain't give him a chance to shine when he was coming up. So
Is
shit, he don't feel like he deserved one now.
is that woman shit or
Yeah, it is.
emotional shit?
It
Okay,
is.
there
I
you
gotta
go.
admit to
That's
that.
that's why you my bro. That's why you my bro. Cause that's all I was saying. That's some emotional shit, and it's not a good enough reason, Earl Spence.
I'm not
Whether
saying
you yeah
it's
whether
emotional. I'm not saying he making an emotional decision. I'm just saying like
but you
shit,
are
that's how
saying
he
it
feel.
when you
That's how
just
he feel.
said when I just that's an emotional feel i.e.
It is, but I think it's different for what he doing. Like I think it just be I think it's just because Keith didn't fight him back then. That's what I think it's all about. I don't
Well,
think there's nothing to it.
I would say this: everything all of us do in life, we have a reason. Now, some people can
That's
look
what
at that reason.
my
Some
bad.
people can look at it as a reason. Or that's what I was saying. You're light, man. That's more festive.
I ain't even turned on. I forgot. Yeah.
I
I was like, damn, it is kind of dark.
was like, nigga, what's going on? Well, Miss ATL, she still breathing. What you do to her?
She in the closet, I had to tie up.
I'm like, why it's so dark up in there, man?
Yeah, man.
I told you, Miss ATL, unplug his ass. But but I was just saying, like, all of us do something for a reason. Like every move I make, it's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Some people will look at that. Some people can look at whatever I'm doing and say, "Oh, that's your reason. That's an excuse, Miss T."
Yeah.
And if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. So when I say is he being emotional, he is being emotional. I thought that men don't do that.
I don't think.
That's what y'all men say.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you another reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think from what he's supposed to be doing
Mm-hmm.
to now that he don't really feel like it's relevant. Because
What you mean?
to go from okay, I'm thinking I'm about to fight for undisputed to go to fight somebody who didn't give me no opportunity. I think that's more in the play too because it's like you had your expectations on getting a Bentley, but when you got to the lot, you know what I'm saying, they were like, shit, nah, you can't get this Bentley. You know what I'm saying? But we got this good old Maserati for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that ain't what I came here for.
But like I said, like I never dispute anybody's feeling or speculation on whether or not Keith Thurman was ducking. I don't think he was per se, but I will say this: it certainly most looked like it. I can't. It's hard to argue anybody who say Keith Thurman was ducking Earl. I can. It's hard for me to defend it, but I don't think that it was just solely on that premise. And the reason why I say it, Keith Thurman had a couple of belts. Keith Thurman was looking forward, not backwards. At the time, Errol Spence felt entitled. He did, and he wanted his shot. But I felt like Keith Thurman didn't have to look at him and look backwards and give him a shot. Just like I feel like Earl shouldn't have to look at Boots and give him a shot when he's trying to chase undisputed. So that's the kind of umbrella I kind of put Keith Thurman in. But then Keith had the injuries, and then he was out, and some people was like, "Oh, you lying about your injuries,"
Mm-hmm.
and this, that, and the other. So if somebody come up to me who's an Earl fan and say, "Oh man, he did duck," let me see how you don't see it. I'm telling y'all the honest God truth. I don't even have an argument. I don't even refute the shit. I'll be like, damn, Keith, it did look like that though, shorty. You know, it did look like that.
So
But then, Earl Spence, he gets along in his career. He gets a lot of fights under his belts. He start gaining some hardware, and he doing the same thing. Am I mad at Earl Spence for that? No, no. You'll never really hear me say he ducking Boots. You ain't even really hear me say that. We can all play on here and shit, but you ain't never hear me calling Earl no duck with nobody else but Terrence Crawford. You ain't never heard me call him a duck because they don't deserve it yet. He deserved to go for undisputed. Everybody else, you still gotta wait your turn. And that's how I feel about Earl. So I can't be mad at Keith and then turn around and not be mad at Earl. I'm not mad at either one, but I do capitulate
Why
and
you ain't mad
say,
at Crawford?
because what did Crawford do?
He ducked.
Duck how?
We done went through this already.
But you never answered.
You
How
never
did
answered.
I did answer? Here's my answer to
I said, look who he fighting.
Here's my answer to clarify. The people who are the A side, the people who was putting up the money for the fight, the people who was orchestrating and planning the fight was Emerald City, aka the PBC. The PBC, to include Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and even Errol Spence said out his own mouth, they don't want the fight until 2023. That doesn't mean that they were ducking. Hold on. Let me finish. That doesn't mean that they were ducking. It just means they didn't want the fight until 2023. So what does 2022 stop? How does it stop anything in 2023? Or what does it have to do with 2023? You can do anything you want.
First of all, what you just said is a opinion.
That's not an opinion. That's
a
fact.
You don't know if that's how it.
We heard it out their own mouth.
And me and you had this conversation before. Like that information that you said, I told you this in the last time we talked about it. Mm-hmm. That didn't come up to after Bud had already signed his fight.
That wasn't true, dog. That wasn't true.
That's when the audio came out. Like, come on, Miss
The audio. I could tell you when the audio came out. The audio was made before they even knew about Bud doing the fight. Errol Spence said, "I just got back." I could be dirty and just like, I don't know why it's a big secret not to tell his daughter's birthday, but I'm not gonna tell it because if the parents, meaning Errol Spence and his baby mama, don't want to put out their child birthday, far be it for me to do it. But I promise you, that birthday makes that call earlier than Bud and them announcing that fight, which is around October 21st. That call was made in September. So I'm just saying, or right at the first week of October. So what I'm telling you is, Earl said it, Floyd said it, and according to Bud in the contract or the term sheet that he received, said it. Now y'all don't have to believe the contract what Terrence said, but you got to believe what Earl said and Floyd said. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the date they chose. Yeah, it's a disappointment to all of us, but that's the date they chose. I don't know how anybody makes a conclusion about this year. Floyd and Earl. They said it out their own mouth.
Earl said it out his mouth?
Yes, on the phone. I played that. I played it for you several times. The other day when I was led with the rebuttals and all that, it was in the big conversation.
This we had to debate about, though. We had to debate that it was after Crawford already signed his fight when that audio came out.
But it's not after.
It is.
Dude, it's not after. I got the date for when Crawford told the world about his fight. It was the end of October. That phone call was made the beginning, at best, at latest, the first week of October. I don't want to say when his daughter's birthday, but you know the little girl is in school.
I heard what he said.
You know she in school. So Errol Spence ain't no different from no other parent out here. He not taking it. You ain't scooping your kids up and while they supposed to be at school and taking them on no kind of trip. You know, you gonna say that for a weekend or when y'all out, correct? Ain't that what we all do as parents? I mean, can we agree on that? That we all wait till the kids are out of school to do some big trip or take them somewhere. We're not gonna scoop them up and say, "Hey, I know you gotta be in school this week, but let me go ahead and take you to Disney this week." We don't do that.
Definitely not Disney. Now we ain't going to Disney no more. Disney got some extra stuff.
We don't.
I ain't going there.
I mean, you might take him to the local fair
Yeah,
that
yeah,
night, but
something
they
like
be in
that.
school the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he took him to Disney. His daughter, if you knew when his daughter's birthday, you'll see how old that
I know when his
conversation
daughter
is.
birthday.
And
I ain't gonna put
I think whoever leaked the conversation was wrong in the first place. You don't do that shit to nobody. Earl might even got a case to sue him. But the point is, I'm not mad at Earl if he say sometime next year.
you know everybody
I'll
want
say it. I'm just
everybody
saying
want
you
a
can't
little
call
spot.
a nigga a duck because what is he ducking this year? He not ducking a fight because they don't want the fight till next year. That don't make them animals or bad people. It just make that they don't want the fight till next year. That ain't a duck. You saying next year. And you saying the first quarter at that. That's not a duck. That's next year. So I'm just saying, Sean, that's how I look at it. I don't
Okay.
understand how people don't understand the difference between
I
the
told you,
meaning.
you know what I told you. I told you, I don't even care. Like it ain't happening, so that shit ain't even relevant no more. Like if he don't fight Boots, I would love to see him whoop Keith Thurman ass, but I know that ain't what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. Like I would love to see him whoop Keith Thurman ass, but that ain't what Earl want to do. And he been said that shit. So his next move is he going to 154. He always done what he said, and
Nah, he
he's going to
ain't always
154.
done what he said.
Oh, get out of
He
here.
don't always do what he said. He
Get out of
don't,
here.
but it's all to the good. He don't always do what he said.
Okay.
Come on, Shawty. Come
What
on.
else we gonna talk
But
about?
but it don't matter. It don't matter. But in the end, I was asking the question: is it a duck? If he moves up, can Keith call
No,
that a
it's
duck?
not a duck
Why
because
not?
Keith wasn't in his plans. He said specifically before he beat Ugis what he
Neither
wanted to do. He said he's gonna
Ugas won't in
beat.
his
He said
plans
he's gonna
neither.
beat Ugis, get his belt, and then he's coming straight after Crawford. If that fight don't happen, he's moving to 154.
But Ugas wasn't in that plan either in the Maurice Hooker after the Maurice Hooker fight in that hallway. Ugas wasn't part of that plan. Ugas became part of that plan because he had the belt.
Exactly.
Now Keith is a part of the plan because they done made him the number
No,
one seed,
this is what I'm saying.
WBC.
I'm telling you what Earl said. Earl
Right?
said after he beat Ugis, he want to fight Crawford. If he don't get the Crawford fight, he's moving to 154. That's what he
Okay.
said out his mouth.
But he's now ordered to fight.
That's not listening to what nobody else got to say. This is what he want. And if he
Okay.
don't get what he want, he already told us what he gonna do.
Well, that's why I want to see how you say that. And I'm going to say, okay, I want y'all to have that same understanding. When Bud said, I'm fighting this year, that's what he wanted, with or without Errol Spence.
Okay,
So
he did say that. Okay, that's fine.
stop attributing
Look,
negativity to this
I
man. It
just
ain't no
said,
Bud.
I'm not even talking about Bud no more. I don't even care about
I
that.
know, but
Y'all
I have to
got that.
take, I have to take my cues when I can.
I was
That
just saying
that same
what
energy,
Earl
I'm with
said.
you.
He gonna
I'm
fight.
with you.
If he don't get Crawford, he's going to 154. That's what he said.
And I can be with you if that's what Earl said, but I need you to be with us when we
Keith
say
shouldn't
what
even be
Bud
talked
said.
about in the conversation at all, because that ain't what Earl talked about. These is
Well,
facts.
these are facts of what Bud
This is what
said
Earl
he
said out
said.
his mouth, what he want and what he was gonna do on his journey to try to be undisputed. And
And
that's
this
just
is what
it.
Bud said too. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. So we both can see this. We can
No,
both see the
you was
logic.
talking about Thurman. That's what you were talking about, where
Yeah,
he be ducking
Thurman.
Thurman.
I know,
No, he went, and
but
I'm
he's
saying no, he wouldn't be ducking
okay.
Thurman because he said if he don't get Crawford, he's moving to 154. That's
I
it.
know, but I'm
He
shocked
didn't
that
say
you
nothing
have.
about the WBA, the
I know.
WBC ordering this and that. He said if this don't happen, then I'm going to 154.
Only reason I brought it up, ATL, because that's perfect logic what you just said. But I need that perfect logic when y'all be calling Bud a duck. What happened to you, Caps? But anywho, I was about to get with you, Caps. Tay is in the building, but I just need that logic when y'all talk about Bud too, and y'all don't give it to him. So that's why
You
I
know
say
I
I
ain't
gotta
giving
take it.
Bud nothing. Nothing.
All right, Tay, what you got on it? Caps, come on back.
Nah, he can talk first. I'm doing some work right now.
Okay. What's up, Caps? What's good with you?
What's
What you
good?
got on it?
What's good, Tay? What's good, ATL? What's going on,
What's
man?
up, man? What going on with you, man?
Nothing much. You know what? I want to take butt out of this and just talk about Errol and what Errol wanted. Right? You're right, man. He said he's gonna go to 154. He also said he's gonna spin the block. Um, he also said he's gonna spin the block. But see, the thing
Yeah.
is, I what I'm saying is that I'm not even blaming Earl now or Bud or whatever. It's the sanction bodies and PBC. And the thing is that what they did to Earl was sickening, bro. Like how this man don't want to fight Keith Thurman, right? Fine.
Mhm.
Everybody got their opinion about Spence should fight him anyway. And some people say he shouldn't because of what Keith did and all that. I understand that, but if you look at it, they put Spence back against the wall. The man is the boss. They work for Spence. And Spence said, "Listen, man, I don't want to fight that dude." Al decided to put some money under the table, got the WBC to put this man on the rankings of number one, saying it's a favor they doing for Keith Thurman, a favor they doing for Keith Thurman. All right, Al knew that he would not fight Keith Thurman, so he did this purposely to Errol Spence. Errol Spence do not want to fight Keith, but for some reason now he's like, listen, if I don't fight and I move up to 154, I can't spin the block because they're gonna strip me. My back is against the wall. So that's my thing. Why would you do that man dirty like that? Like, can you explain that to me? Like that's the thing. You put that man back against the wall where he can't even make a move. So if he moves to 154, he's not going to even. People are going to say he dug Thurman and Bud Crawford because he did say he's going to spin the block.
Can I say?
Well, that's why you shouldn't put PBC up on a pedestal.
Hmm. Yeah, can I
That's
say
a lot
something?
of people be praising too much for PBC. Hold on. Tay, 1 second. I'm gonna just say that they put PBC Emerald City on the pedestal, and they shouldn't. Cause what do Emerald City do for us? It's the fighters that do something for us. But they put their stuff in the mix, the empty suits. But go ahead, Tay.
But
My
yeah,
bad.
I mean, I think we all know why they. I mean, you can see it. They didn't when before negotiations happened all that time. Not a single one of them put a mandatory on Errol Spence. They all waited until the whole fiasco happened. So to me, this is what it's indicating for me. They got the get go from somebody up top that they were allowed and okay with Keith Thurman being mandated to fight Errol Spence. And we all know who is running this shit. Like, come on, like WBC ain't dummies, you know what I'm saying? They're getting paid by these promoters and these fighters. They're not gonna do anything without they're not gonna hurt their bottom line by going against what their promoters are saying that are giving them the money. Like, so it's Al Heyman. Al been wanting for years for this fight to happen. He's been trying to push Errol Spence in this direction. And now he was able to use the WBC, and we've even heard before WBC like they buy rankings. How the fuck you think
Mm-hmm.
Keith Thurman move up that fast in the rankings? He
I
had
said
one
that.
fight in 2 years, and all of a sudden he's the
Mm-hmm.
number one mandatory. But that shit don't sound sketchy to y'all, and we already know that they paying people that you can
But
pay for your mandatory spot and pay up the ranks.
but Tate, another thing you could add to that, didn't Errol Spence had a mandatory with Danny Garcia? So he gets a mandatory again?
With WBC. Yeah, in fact, why is he doubling up? Where's the IBF mandatory? Where's the WBA? They all in conjunction, and I'm telling you, PBC kind of got the WBC sold up. Al and Mauricio Hobnob, they rub elbows together. They get shit done. But as I was talking about yesterday with that WBA power move, we gonna see how the WBC start falling under the WBA. Y'all gonna start seeing how the WBA got the upper hand over everybody else. And we're gonna be sitting here saying the same thing. How the fuck did they do this? And I said that in my monologue. How did Keith Thurman become number one seed? How? Coming off what you say, take 2 years? Let me give a shout out to This Is Rob. I see you. I see you, player. What's good with you, King? Active activist. What's good with you? But yeah, how do you become number one after all that time off? I don't give a care what your reasons are, Keith. And I love Keith. And then, they do it for Deontay too. Unless y'all playing bullshit games in the background. To me, that's setting up Keith Thurman. Because if you let shit play out fair, Errol wouldn't have to go back and eat his words, would he? If you being fair, he wouldn't have to eat his words. He wouldn't have to even think about or contemplate fighting Keith Thurman. But now he got to. Give up his belt.
See, my opinion, I feel Errol Spence should fight Keith Thurman for that bullshit you did to him and say, I'm going to bust your ass in the ring, right? Because this is boxing. And when you relate to that kind of fugazi shit, you handle it in the ring like real men. Like, okay, you duck me. I'm gonna duff you a couple of times and let you know why you duck me. Basically, that's what I would do. But like I said, everybody got their opinion. He should and he shouldn't. But my thing is, we point the fingers at Bud and Errol. At the same time, no one's pointing the fingers at PBC or the sanctioning body. That's my argument. That's what my last video was. And I put that nigga Knockout 86 on blast. And yeah, because he's bullshitting, man. He bullshitting. So I had to put you on there. I put him on there. I show proof that you, like I said, Errol Spence said it first. I remember that first came out. Anything else, that first came out. That interview or whatever that phone call was.
What's your channel name? I'm gonna subscribe to you.
Oh, Caps.
Caps full.
Yeah. CAPS.
The
space,
same thing. Let me see.
Space.
Right there, Caps and 4G.
Yeah,
okay. I got you.
So that was my last video, and I had to put that thing on blast, yo, and show you that it's some discrepancies on one side, because you got some people like Trill and all them over there saying this, and then you got these saying that, and you got everybody. Look, Errol Spence, Blue Blood. I'm sorry to say these names, but this is education purposes only. The narrative changed with Blue Blood, but he still got Errol beating Crawford ass. And they still mad at the nigga because it's the narrative. Like, the man still got Errol beating Crawford ass. Come on now.
I mean, Fred from Barbershop still got Errol beating Crawford. I mean, it's like like people. We can't get mad if we picking somebody to win, because we picking them for our own reason. However, when it's bias in the air and shit, I pick up on that scent. I'm like a bloodhound on that one. And I don't like that shit, because it's no need for biasness. I don't have to be biased against Earl, and I'm not against Earl. That's why I can say with a straight face that them making Keith Thurman number one was wrong.
Yep.
That was wrong. Errol Spence will never have to hear people like me or anybody else saying, nigga, you're going to have to eat your words. We're going to see if you the boss for real. Because right now, he backed into a corner. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
If Errol Spence going to drop his belts right now, he better do it now and say, okay, I'll move up. But if you drop your belts, you got to get at the back of the line if you move up, number one. Number two, if you don't fight him, and it's almost December, y'all. If you don't fight him by February, you lose the WBC and the WBA. I love Shakur Stevens. I think he can do the whole fucking 135 division. But if he would have made weight,
thank you,
and kept his belts,
thank you,
then he will have more leverage.
He could go straight.
I can't get mad because he took that shit out of his own hand. He did that to himself. Doesn't matter his reason. That's the career you chose. When I was in the Navy,
Lady T, he could have gone up and fight Devin.
Yeah,
he could have fight Devin.
Could have had a beeline to him, but he didn't. He didn't. Why? Because he did what he did. When I was in the military, y'all, we had a PT twice a year. Active activists know this shit. Boy, I'll be working on my chits towards the end, so I don't have to get out there and run and shit. But if I got caught up, I got caught up, right? It's what I chose. What I'm going to do, cry and blame everybody but myself It's what I chose. I knew when I came in, they run all the time. I knew that. It's what I chose. It ain't their fault that 10, 15 years into it, I couldn't stand that shit. Because I got older. How the fuck I supposed to know at 20 years old that at 35 I'm about tired of this shit? How the fuck I supposed to know that? I wouldn't have known that. But it's what I chose. And that's how I feel about these boxers. It's what they chose. Now, do some fake fugazi ass shit be going on? I blame Al Heyman. But a lot of y'all don't want to put the blame on PBC, and that's why they keep doing what they doing. I blame Al Heyman. I think Errol Spence is part of my French, y'all, is getting his nigga moment. We all in our lives get our nigga moment. And Al Heyman is the one that's giving it to Earl. Like, I don't give a care what you want and what you was thinking. I'm going to make your motherfucking ass fight Keith. But you notice when Keith was stiff arming Earl, what kind of pressure did Al put on Keith? They gave Keith everything he wanted, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And am I lying, ATL? Mm-hmm. They gave Keith everything he wanted. But they ain't doing that for Earl, so that's why I say he got his nigga moment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Wizard of Oz like Keith better.
Or you saying that since Keith was the man back then, that Al shitted on Earl. So now it's the other way around.
No, I'm not saying Al shitted on Earl. I said he didn't do Keith dirty. Not the fact that he shitted on Earl.
Yeah.
Because Earl was nobody. You know, he was up and coming. But he didn't do Keith dirty. He ain't put Keith in no predicament like he's doing Earl right now. They put Earl in this predicament.
Lady T,
by elevating Keith.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. I don't got Instagram. I don't got Yahoo. What's that? Facebook. I don't got none of that shit. For me, I can't because I'll be all over the place with it. I can't, no patience. But I got Twitter just to see Victor Conte, Vada, Errol Spence, Shakur, Tank, Devin. I just got, so I get the alerts. So I'm just looking at them, and one of the alerts that I was aware of that Bud Crawford said was like, listen, we could do these negotiations public. He said, when you spin the block, let's do something different. Let's do these negotiations public. And I got that. I screenshot that. I'll put it in my video next time. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So
I heard that too.
It is what it is. Let's just do it negotiations publicly. Let's get it on. So let's see what happens in 2023. Let's see if he's successful with David Avedisia and whatever successful with Spence. Whatever he decides, as long as it's in 147.
Yeah,
what you say his name was?
Spence.
No,
Avedisian.
David Avedisia. Yeah, David Avedisia. If you look at his style, right? Yeah, I know he beat an old Sean Mosley, and if you look at he did improve in some stuff, but he still got a lot of openings. But he's a switcher. He's a sneaky switcher if you watch him.
Yeah.
Check him out. You'll see what I'm talking about. So keep your eye on him.
my favorite dude, Quentin. Get your butt up here. What you mean? Nowhere near equal. Oh my God. That's how you know Bud is fighting an avocado. Saying equal to Thurman, only the casuals say foolishness. I think they talk about his records or his accomplishments.
I give Alanesian about 7 rounds.
He's in the WBO, right? So he's in the rank.
He was the highest ranker in the WBO outside of PBC fighters that Bud could choose from.
Yeah,
he was number 6.
He was number 6, but everybody above him was PBC.
Yeah,
they was in the Emerald City.
It was Virgil who they.
I think Conor Ben didn't want to fight David Avedisia. That's one of the things too.
Yeah, but we know Conor Ben ain't even relevant no more.
Yeah, Conor Ben.
He done.
Yeah. If y'all calling Bud a duck after receiving info that the fight isn't until 2023, that's what I said. If Earl don't give Thurman an opportunity because he holding a grudge, Earl is it's gonna go down to me, and I'm not picking on Earl, but it would be a duck because I don't agree with your reasonings for not wanting to fight him. Just like I don't agree with the Charlo's reasoning for not fighting Andre. Y'all men,
Okay, by you saying that, did Keith duck Earl back then?
I remember I said I thought it was I thought it was more so that he was looking forward instead of backwards. But I also said I can't argue for you, Keith,
No, just answer the
if
question
you
though. You
say
think
he
it's a
was
duck or not?
ducking. No, I didn't think it was a duck. Just like I
No.
don't think Earl is ducking. I don't think Earl is ducking Boots. The same thing. I don't think he's ducking them. Why? Because they looking forward, not backwards. That's all. But I also say, if people say it's a duck, I won't argue with that because it do look like it at times. You see what I'm saying?
So what do you feel about the back end and guaranteed season going on now? What's up? What's up, lady? T? Spit that knowledge.
The
What
back
you
end,
talk
okay.
about the guaranteed knowledge we got going on
Oh,
with
I was gonna transition that into the
I,
Regis program
no, you were.
debacle. You already know I'm on it. But let me get these chats right quick.
I,
ESJ definitely don't always do what he say. Example number one, he told Bud to get a belt. Example number two, then he told Bud on the other side of the street. And a lot of people be feeling that way. Quentin Quentin in the joint. At Caps, what it do? And he said, "What's up,
what
Miss
you do?
T?"
What you do?
Okay, so look, y'all recently, Regis Prograis just went tooth for nails. We all agree he did a great job. That was a good fight. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so now. In my humblest voice, please. Hit the like button. But we know that Regis, he put on the show, right? He did a good thing. I even asked, I said, y'all think Regis was carrying old boy a little bit? Because I was like, that's a dangerous game to play. Because I'm thinking of the old young Regis. And then they was like, oh, he's 33. And I said, okay. You know, that might explain it. But Regis didn't get paid, shouted. Why you laughing, ATL?
That's
He
best of.
didn't. He didn't get paid. They
Yeah, that's
handed him
fucked
a
up.
check.
That's
They
fucked up.
handed. I know, but they handed him a check. He took it to the
Blank.
bank, deposited that bitch, and it bounced.
And
Yeah,
it's
I seen
fun.
that shit. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
It's way fucked up. Wasn't Regis with PBC at first?
If you was the Bella, I don't know.
He would pro bellum now.
Bella, man.
I
He
thought he
would
was with
pro
the.
bellum. Huh? What'd you say, Tay?
I don't know because he fought Josh Kelly on something. Maybe it was Frank Warren. I don't know.
What Josh Taylor was
He
under
was free
Frank
agent.
Warner and them or top rank, but Regis, I thought in the beginning of his career, he was, I think, I'm not for sure, y'all. Y'all correct me in the chat. I think he was with PBC, the Emerald City. But some kind of way he got out of it. But he with Pro Bellum now. And y'all know since that Canahan, and I'm not saying that Canahan is affiliated with Pro Bellum. I'm saying there was allegedly accusations of that and by people throwing that dude's name with their brand, it's fucking up people's shit. But Pro Bellum seem like they're coming back. They actually got to sue this entity called the Boxer in Europe. Is another promotional company because they telling all the fighters that Pro Bellum is with Canahan. Pro Bellum has been suing them, for defamation of character and all this shit. But long story short, that's who Regis is with. You know who runs Pro Bellum? Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer is the same dude that ran Golden Boy with all the success with
Hey, that's like a janky ass
Mayweather.
job telling you they ain't got your check this week.
ATL. I fucked that whole fucking office building
Yeah,
up.
he was signed by Lou DiBella at first.
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah, it
So
was Lou
so
DiBella.
The Bella.
so so Regis is getting the short end of the
Bella.
stick. But you see what I'm saying? Who was looking out for his best interest? How the fuck they missed that? Where was the escrow money? And when y'all get mad at Bud, and then see, it makes me think of a couple of people. But I'm gonna think of Bud first. When everybody get mad at Bud because he asked for transparency, This is why you ask for transparency.
Man, I'd be mad as hell if I had lumps all upside my head and my check didn't clear. But
Hell yeah.
because he was looking
I don't
ugly
know.
after that fight. He won, but he was looking ugly.
And it's crazy. This place, Marv Nation. Let me read y'all what I found out about them. So Marv Nation, they made a bid without a network already attached. I told y'all these people about to be a man with no land, as Errol Spence said. They made they went for pay-per-view for $59.99, I think. And stuff like that. This make or ensure that the next big medium in sports when it comes to boxing is gonna be apps. Shit like this. Because apps take out the middleman. These people, Marv Nation, who's owned by somebody named Marvin Rodriguez, while everybody else was putting down BLK Prime and acting like BLK Prime wasn't legit, I done heard that the fight won't go happen because they don't got the commissioner on board. They not even really selling. I done heard everything. And every week that story get debunked and knocked down. I done heard it. But everybody was so paying attention to BLK Prime. They weren't looking at Marv Nation. Marv Nation just did the ultimate. They put on the fight, like you said, ATL. This dude got lumps upside his head. It was for a title fight. You know Mauricio Suleiman got his money. You muted yourself. I ain't hear you.
Now I said you got the belt and everything, and still ain't getting no check.
Ain't getting no check. Mauricio got his check. You better believe that.
Believe it. He in Mexico chilling.
guess who else got paid?
Drink Corona.
Zapata.
Yeah. No, he got paid. He Mexican too.
Zapata got paid. Yep. Only person ain't get paid is nigga.
They drinking together, laughing and shit.
I don't mean to laugh at him or nothing.
Nah, it
that's
ain't
fucked
funny.
up. It's fucked. But that's when people say they need to be transparent and shit. When promoters come together, they are transparent to each other. So if Bob Arum was coming to PBC, they would be transparent about where the money coming from. How you gonna tell me 35%? So here's a math problem to everybody. How much is 35% of the fight? Like, can you tell me how much am I gonna get paid if they promising me 35%
of what?
on the back end? And that's the wall you gonna run into every time. Of what? And that's what Crawford was trying to figure out. 35% of what? You have to show up front that you can make that money. One, two, which probably all of these are number ones to be exact. You have to put that shit in escrow.
Hey, one thing I can tell you, I do understand. If he was doing it for that reason that Regis just went through, then shit, hey, he had every right to goddamn do it like that. But cause that was fucked up.
That's why he was doing it. He don't have a promoter.
I ain't never heard no shit like that ever in the whole. Like, I watched boxing since I was little. I ain't never heard a nigga goddamn check bounce.
I ain't never heard that neither. You better pay me in nickels. What's up, D Young is in the
I thought
building.
as soon as you get out the ring, nigga, get shit go to your shit like Cash App. You know what I'm saying?
That's why people didn't understand this not getting paid. See, PBC was trying to sneak a trend on people, and they was like, "Well, Earl won't get paid." Remember when people was like, Terrence Crawford asking for $25 million, and that story came out, and I was like, well, if y'all know so much what Terrence was asking for, what Earl was asking for, because in my head, if Terrence was asking for 25, which I felt was a lot, then I was like, Earl must be asking for 50 then, or 30 or something like that.
I ain't gonna lie.
They never could have the answer.
Hey,
never had the answer.
I ain't gonna lie. I think that's too less. I mean, shit, you look at Floyd and goddamn Pacquiao and shit. Nigga made what, about 400 million or some shit like that?
This fight's not that big though.
That fight,
Mayweather was a proven commodity. Mayweather could at that time Mayweather was doing like 1 million pay-per-views of like that was like nothing to him. Like that was average.
Mayweather's
but they say this is supposed to be the biggest
it's not that big.
in this generation, right?
It wasn't in this era, but it wasn't gonna be bigger than Mayweather biggest
star
pay-per-view
ever.
was 4.6 million, and that was in this century. That was in
Exactly.
this century, yeah. But
So you don't
nobody's
think what I just said? I said I think they're getting paid less than what both supposed to be getting, right?
No, they'll have to. No, I
no,
mean, what do
no,
you think this fight's
because
gonna do? Tell
what
me what
what
number.
what what what
You
is
got to
what we.
understand, Floyd never got undisputed.
But
So
Who
listen,
cares?
listen
Floyd's
to
the
the
biggest
thing.
star.
He did.
Floyd was bringing in $1 billion to
Thank you.
Vegas every time he fought. Vegas made over $1 billion. That's a fact. So roll the carpet out for this nigga. Give him whatever the fuck he want. That was their mantra. But you can't say that about Earl and whatever. But even if we think that they deserve it, it's no problem. If ATL think that was too little, if we think that
I think they
that
both
was
deserve
that,
more.
that was too less, or there should have been more or whatever. My point is, when they was coming out saying that Bud was asking for 25, but they would never say what Earl was asking for. Now we know what they was talking about with the 25. Bud actually came to them because some broker person came to him and said, "Hey, we willing to put up 25 million, and we're willing to put that in the fight. If money is the issue, here go 25 for you and 25 for Earl." But some of the Earl fans, sexuals, they took that story, spinned it, made it a negative for Bud. And then, like I said, Bud is acting as his own promoter, so he has to look at the books. He has
What
to.
I'm
If
saying is,
you
you don't
don't
think they
look
should
at
have
the
got paid
books,
more? What about
then you
Conor
get.
McGregor and Floyd? You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm just saying, look
Yeah,
how
exactly
much
they
the
may.
shit
same
they both
pay-per-view.
split.
I mean, but you gotta look. The point is, y'all,
That
whenever
was
y'all
Impact.
doing that shit, y'all gotta look at the books, or else
Thank
you
you.
gonna get Regis. You gonna get done like Regis. I'm
Tell
mad
him
for him.
again,
I'm
Queen.
laughing
I
because
think you missing what I'm saying, Miss T.
what's
Now
up? What's up?
ATL, I
No,
don't
I
think.
heard you. No, me and ATL on the same page on this one, I think.
Not ATL. I mean, look at what Conor McGregor was doing, like numbers wise. Like he was like Conor was the biggest star outside of Floyd in mixed martial fighting in general.
Mhm.
Like, and that fight
Hey,
did 2 million
hey,
pay-per-views.
but
Over 2 million.
listen though. But
I
listen
got
though.
I got 2.2.
Conor McGregor wasn't no motherfucking professional fighter. He ain't have a professional boxing match. So
Exactly.
for him to get 130 mil just
Exactly.
off
That's
the
what I'm
gate,
saying.
bro,
Mhm.
that's no, bro. I'm not about to let people just use that shit. Yeah,
Right.
it was a popularity thing, yeah, bro. But come on, man, we got a decorated three division, unified in one fucking undisputed in one division to compare it to a guy who's the global star, bro, who ain't had a professional boxing match. That shit ain't comparable, bro. So people can't keep using that shit, bro. But yeah, and like I say, I salute Good for not taking that bitch ass deal because he'd have got Regis. See, what people don't understand is this,
Yeah,
though, bro. If
that's the
anybody,
million.
hey, Miss T, what people don't understand is this: I was born that night, but not last night. If anybody think,
Well. Go
if
ahead,
anybody
Pastor.
think,
Go ahead, Pastor.
yeah, if anybody think Errol Spence wasn't getting no guaranteed money, you out your motherfucking mind. You are out your mind, bro. And I ain't gotta have no receipts for this. He
Hey,
said it
D.
in the motherfucker. One thing, AT, and I'm gonna give it to you.
No,
He
no.
said it
I
in the
just
link.
want you. Do you think they should both be getting paid more?
Bro, I think 25 mil is right for both of them because neither one of them made 10 mil. Well, Bud now made his 10 mil, but neither one of them guys made 10 mil. So shit, 25 is right for both of them, bro. That's career defining money for them.
Thank you.
So you
So
think that's what they both should get?
Yeah, bro.
You
Hell
don't think
yeah,
they deserve
absolutely, bro.
more?
here's
I
here's
mean,
my
hey, ATL. If 25 is the cap, bro, cool. If they could have got more, I'm good with it, bro. But
Okay.
25 guaranteed, bro. Whether the pay per view flop or not, that's 25 mil in the bank, bro.
Okay.
How much you
Hey,
think
but
this
I
fight
will
gonna
say this in taste offense. I'm gonna let you get it to you after this.
Mhm.
I will say this: if Conor McGregor got 130 million, what the hell do y'all think that Floyd got? But go ahead, Tay. And I
I
think that's
mean,
what Tay's saying. That money, that shit, he broke the internet twice.
yeah,
He broke the internet.
get?
Not the internet. When the way they ordered pay per view,
that
that
shit was
shit had went
insane.
down.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, and I'm sorry to say this, but these guys aren't getting necessarily paid off resume. These companies are looking at, that's why Jake Paul got so much money. These companies are looking at how much money can you bring to the table.
That's
So
yours.
yeah, he may not have done all this other stuff, but when they are crunching down numbers to how much money this fight's actually going to generate, and then how much money can we give to these fighters and still get a net positive, that is why he got paid all that money, because they knew they knew how widespread Conor McGregor was and his influence. That's why he got paid all that goddamn. Conor could have never fought. Conor could have been a YouTuber, but if they were able to track his numbers in the past and say how much money he's making here, they would then have to give him that kind of money, because that's the money that he's expecting. That's the money that he's worth. So I mean,
but Mayweather could sniff out a good thing.
Yeah, and Mayweather was there, so it's like Mayweather is like.
Yeah, Mayweather gonna make money regardless.
Yeah,
and then Conor being MMA, he know it's a lot of people that feel like MMA fighters are better and harder than boxers. So there you go. There's the controversy. Controversy sells. Yet again, he brings $1 billion to Vegas. If y'all ever try to gamble in Vegas on the day of the fight, that Mayweather fight, it's $100 to get on the table. $100 motherfucking dollars. I've been to Vegas a couple of times and went to different fights. They don't do that shit for nobody but Mayweather fights. So I'll be like, God damn, when I went there for Deontay fight, it was the same fucking price as it was the day before. And Deontay sold out. So in the end, D Young just hit it on the head. You gonna get Regis.
That's right. You're gonna get
big time.
So yeah,
big time.
What do you think? What's the numbers you think on this Spence and Crawford fight?
I think they would have at least cracked over 500,000 pay-per-view. I think so.
I'll say 7, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the time when it was buzzing, yeah, they could have easily got 5 to 7, but now that everybody kind of just upset with both guys going in different directions, man. I don't know if they're gonna crack 7. They might get 5. They might get 5 in 2023.
Nah, that.
If anything that's taught me this year, and I'm not trying to be sad on this thing, but I can't say it enough. I've never been into the marination thing, and y'all know I just lost my nephew October 17th this year, violently, and he was only 20 years old. That's my little boy. That's my twin.
Sorry,
but he gone. So life ain't promised tomorrow.
Right.
Why are you marinating?
Exactly.
Facts, Quinn.
That's how I feel. Or then Errol Spence had that terrible accident. Then Bud gets shot in the back of his head. Those 2 incidents could have been the death for both of them. But God saw fit that they lived through it. God bless them. But shit, if them going through it, they both should be on the same page of we not marinating this shit. Time is of the essence. But look what Al is doing. I'm telling you, they trapped in Emerald City with them flowers blooming and shit, and they under space. they in Emerald City, and Al Heyman is the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
So I don't know if they could have done 700,000. That seems very maybe, but it seems very like
it's a maybe because you know why the boxing fans will draw the casuals. Okay, you know it's going to be some percentage of boxing fans, hardcore fans that will bring the casuals in. So I can see it's possible. And,
how much?
And the fans are like tricks. They're gonna come back. You know, they all sour now and shit. But believe me, when that shit comes off, you want to see it. We gonna want to see that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, that was what it was, and that's what's gonna happen when they do. But you know what? We don't have to get all excited. Me and ATL both said, I'm happy when we thought the fight was going to be November 19th. We was happy, but we ain't get overly excited because we knew anything can happen. Anything can happen. And what happened? Anything.
Hey, Queen, let me my bad, Queen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Go ahead, D.
Hey, I just wanted to make a point off with Tay was saying, like, you know, like you see, because like it's been a pattern with Al Heyman in the PBC, just like how he was saying about the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather, it was a cash grab. So, and like I said, I ain't got no evidence of this. It's just my theory of thinking, bro. Now we all know back in May that they was trying to line up Canelo with fighting Benavidez and Charlo, and Spence was in the package as well. Something telling me, man, that I feel that they really still trying to get on that shit. But I really feel that they trying to feed this nigga Spence to Canelo, bro. It's because think of it, black versus Mexican. They always like that shit. So I mean, I don't think that shit out the loop either. You know what I mean? Especially if Spence and Crawford don't happen in 2023.
I
Well,
agree.
you're not doing a
Yeah.
fast you're not far stretching on that one, because if you think about it, what do they always want to say Al Heyman is? A businessman, right? He's done all this business, and it's business, Miss T, it's business. Well, don't business go on statistical data and percentage? Don't they do that? Don't they have to care about how much this person costs to me versus to keep them or to get rid of them? Because they got to have insurance. I don't know, all these fighters. This person is maybe unreliable or this, that, and the other. He is getting older. Look, I ain't knocking Earl. If he still want to be a person who drinks when he know he has an alcohol problem, I'm not knocking him when I say this. But if I'm a business person and he my cash cow, and he's almost 33, I'm gonna be like, he gonna be on the decline in a minute. So let me get the most out of him that I want. Fuck what he want, and that's what I see, D Young. That's how I see them treating Errol Spence.
Yeah, I really, and I think that I think he's doing a disservice to that nigga, man. Because like I say, he don't want to fight Keith Thurman, which it is what it is. But I mean, I would rather him fight Keith Thurman than Canelo. But I don't know, man. It's just some fishy ass shit over there with them, bro. They just do business fucked up, man. And that's why they like think it is. The whole Olympic team signed with Top Rank.
Yeah, but listen. So does that mean that Top Rank is going to be, beholden to WBO as they are already, and get with the WBA? Because I put out yesterday the WBA made a power move and merged with the IBA, who just got suspended from the IOC, the Olympics committee team, for being so unprofessional and cheating and shit. They got their coattails pulled, and even they didn't even fight. IBA did not run the boxing program for this last Olympics, and they gonna get a stand-in for 2024. They don't even know if the boxing program, coming back in 2028 Olympics. So what did the WBA do? They merged with them. So guess what? When these young fighters be coming up through the amateur, who they gonna put credence in what sanctioning body? The WBA. The WBA gonna get first crack at them. Whatever promotional company align themselves with the WBA, they gonna get first crack. They gonna have the stable. They gonna be setting the standard. They gonna have the goods on motherfuckers. Dog, WBA just did a power move, and it remains to be seen how that shit gonna play out. Just when we thought they was on their heels, then here they come with this one. And people probably can't see it. It's probably went over their head, but y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. It's easy to grab people from the cradle than to grab them when they're adults.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, they motherfucking made a super duper power move and left all the motherfucking sanctioning bodies belts in the dust. And anyway, wasn't the WBA the first of these four sanctioning bodies? Wasn't
Yes.
the WBA the
Yeah,
first?
it, yeah, it was
Listen,
called the NBA and then switched
nah,
to the WBA.
the WBA, the excuse was they were saying that the WBA comes first and the IBF comes last because they had a contract or negotiate. I don't know what they had over there with Standonius. So that was the thing they was using a lot to say not to fight Boots. That basically it was a start with before WPC even raised their head. That was the beef right there between the WBA and the IBF. Now this happens. It is what it is. That's basically what it is. Thurman.
The WBA, they playing opossum, right? They playing opossum.
They
And when
playing
they
something.
ready to when they
They play.
ready to strike,
Yeah,
then
they
y'all
playing.
gonna see.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Y'all gonna see. Because if they got the Olympics and the amateurs sold up,
Yep.
and you know you transition right out of that into professional, they run boxing. Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. I read that. I was like, oh, look at these mother suckers. You know what I'm saying? I say, God damn. The devil is a lot. Look now, but now they made a power move because they needed to. Because right now, the WBC is the head honcho on the block. It's whatever Mauricio Sulaiman want. But then you know what, too? Remember when Mauricio Sulaiman said that he was moving the WBC to Texas? Remember when he said that shit, right? And he was supposed to move it to Houston. Well, that shit hasn't happened since that Daniel Canahan shit. I'm not saying that they about to pounce on his ass. All I'm saying is I was one of many Americans writing to the Congress is like, man, pull this nigga whole card and check his 501c program, see why the fuck he ain't complying with that. And I don't know, maybe they finally did. But out of all the people that had any kind of affiliation, whether it was inadvertently or directly with Daniel Canahan, when the United States government put out that y'all should sever all ties, 3 people said, nope, we're not doing that. And that was Tyson Fury, Josh Taylor, and Mauricio Sulaiman. Now watch when the WBA become more powerful, watch how quickly they knock the WBC off the porch. Watch. Just watch. And shout outs to Fred from Barbershop Conversation. Fred, we don't agree with everything, but Fred been trying to tell folks for a long time, and he didn't caught grief. I saw your little clip, Fred, and I was laughing my ass off because I was like, Fred, you was taking your victory lap. You was taking your victory lap. I know who you trying to talk to, and I know what you saying, and yes, you can be frustrated. Because Fred been trying to tell folks shit for years. Same shit for years about PBC and all this shit. But Fred, I gotta admit, I gotta be fair. It do look like you got a personal vendetta against the PBC. And that's why a lot of people be like, whatever. But you was right. You was right about that shit. You are right about that shit. And now look, people can get Regis. Talk your shit, Fred. Fred was letting y'all know he the HNIC up in this bitch. He make the money. He got that shit was funny as hell. Y'all watch Barbershop Conversation?
Yeah.
That nigga was talking about, look, you know how Fred be like talking to folks. He kind of get his Charleston White on. He be like, y'all niggas. What the fuck y'all niggas know about shit? Y'all just some ignorant, dumbass niggas. You know what I'm saying? I got. You ain't even touching no M's. I'm touching M's. I'm touching it.
You ain't got nothing on your child.
He was doing his victory lap. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. But after Regis, now y'all see. Now a lot of them see. You have to look. You have to ask those questions. 35% of what? Hey, Martin King. What's poppin', King? But that's all I had today. Like, I'm going to really be watching that WBA thing because I really want to see when the shift happens. Because I'm tired of Mauricio Sulaiman setting standards and doing people wrong. The move that they made with Keith Thurman, and I love you, Keith Thurman. That was not fair. That was not fair.
You know, Boots, he petitioned twice the IBF. Ain't hear a peep from them. Not one peep from the IBF. Petitioned twice.
Yeah.
So it's all scripted. It's all scripted. All 4 sanctioned bodies. It's all scripted, yo. Or and 3. And
that's because the WBC can strong arm the other ones. seem like they the big honcho on the block, and that's why what's the name petitioning the IBF didn't have any teeth, because Mauricio Suleiman, he's strong arm everybody, and you can see that with people like the WBA who turn around and capitulated. It was already ordered, so why the WBA need to throw their 2 cents in? Like that's crazy shit. That's pressure for your ass. Hey, AT, I'm with you or with your boy on that one. They was squeezing his balls like a motherfucker. Shit. Y'all know it hit the O button. They was squeezing him for real, because it's one thing the WBC said as man, fuck you, take your belt. Now you want to take my other belt?
For real.
Y'all see, and they was squeezing
That's how it is.
They was squeezing your boy Keith Thurman too. That's why Keith gladly relinquished them. He relinquished them because before they come and take him. So that was Keith saying, whatever pressure y'all trying to do, fuck y'all. That's what Keith was doing, but we'll never know, because Al ain't gonna tell the world. He not gonna come from behind that curtain, so we'll never know. And Keith know how to keep his mouth shut. But that was the pressure that Keith had. All you gotta do is go back to when he dropped the belt, because I remember when he dropped it, I was like, what the fuck you doing, Shotty? They ain't even said they was gonna take it yet, but he knew. I think Keith be getting the heads up. I don't know who he be getting heads up from.
Well, he got heads up in February. In February, that's
yes,
when
he did.
Mauricio got in contact with him in February.
Oh, okay. So Mauricio be giving them the heads up.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman got favored with either Mauricio or the PBC. He got and it's about his. I mean, it's about his markability. How you like that, Caps? You know, I always say the looks. He got the complexion for the protection, but Caps say his markability.
Yeah, it's markability too.
That's
put them all
together.
Put it all together, it's gonna work.
Yeah, the markability. Yeah,
y'all
know.
Hey, he do talk that shit though.
Yeah, he got a gift of gab, yo. That Floridian boy, I tell you.
Yeah, and then look, every girl is looking at him like, It don't matter if you black, white, yellow, purple. We like, And then the guys probably be like, man, this dude is tough though. I mean, he attract everybody.
He know how to talk his way out of everything.
Yeah.
What you say?
I agree with that one.
A silver-tongued fox.
Make it sound good.
Yeah, he do. But like I said, who Al like more? You know, because maybe Al did put the squeeze to Keith, but Keith jumped the gun and said, man, take your fucking belt here. And we never knew either way. Because to this day, I'm like, nigga, nobody was saying they're gonna take your belt. You had surgery. Why the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand. But he was like, fuck it here. He gave one of them belts away. He
did?
He dropped that bitch.
I thought he got stripped.
No, I don't think they ever got to the point where they stripped him. I think he gave it away, and then he lost one. I think that's how it went. It might have been a WBA he gave away.
I thought it was he got stripped and then he gave the other one away or some shit like that. I don't know.
The WBC he lost.
The WBA he got stripped.
And the WBA, I thought he gave it away because he only had them two.
Oh, okay.
I remember, and then Spence, of course, rack him up. But then they showing obvious pressure. Like Spence, they got you back to the wall. That's why you went and refreshed. Spence went to Africa, I guess, to regenerate or refresh his Wakanda, his roots. He had to shit. He had to go back and refresh and gather his thoughts, get some of that good food in him or some shit. Man,
that's the best place to go.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is because I do believe. I've always said I wanted to go to Africa.
Me too.
But I don't want to go that long. I don't like traveling that long in a plane or boat or whatever.
Same here.
I want to go there just to be able to have that feeling that Richard Pryor said he had. He said the whole time I was in Africa, I never said nigga once. He said I never looked at them as nigga. And I met a lot of Africans being in the military, and they are beautiful. Not how they portray you on TV. Beautiful. And they ain't poor and running in the dirt and shit like that. You got that part of Africa, that's the one they show us. Just like we got country bumping ass niggas here. That's
I be
ain't got
watching
no damn
somebody who be
shoes
out in
on.
Africa, here in Nigeria. I said I be watching somebody on YouTube that be out in Africa.
In Nigeria, all of that, they are like, I be like, why y'all come here? Beautiful as your country is.
Mm-hmm.
I would never want to come to this motherfucker. But then again,
Yeah, they live good out there.
Yeah, the whole world be fucking off on Africa, squeezing one off on Africa. But I'm just saying, like, it's beautiful. The people are beautiful, and they come in all different shades, sizes, and they just gorgeous. But that's not the ones they show.
I don't know if y'all remember this, right? But growing up, like I remember as a kid, they used to always have them commercials about Africans, like they just need food and all that shit, like they were just poor and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, we are the world. Remember that shit?
Send them 50 cents a week and all this shit.
Yep, and the blowed up bellies and all that. And you know what they did? They hybridized the food, and then that's how they beat world hunger, because they did fix that problem for the time being. But they gave them hybridized food, and that food, they turn around and start putting it on the shelves, and that's what we eat, and that's why we have all the illnesses we have today.
Yeah, because they don't even eat that shit out there.
1800s. Yeah, they knew in the 1800s, don't put this bullshit in the foods, because it's going to cause, when they tested it on the rats, it caused all the shit that we have now today. And guess what? You get your Republicans in, they deregulate, they hook up their boys, and they put whatever they want in this food, and they giving us some poison. Mm-hmm. And some people die from that shit fast, some people die from it slow.
That's definitely ain't playing.
That's what, and it's fucked up because they know.
I think it's a crime to even have that processed shit out there.
Yeah, it should be. Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican, was like, not in my country. You won't feed that shit to my folks. People was adamant about that shit. They wasn't doing it. It wasn't until the late 70s. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Thank you, Nixon. Niggas like him. Fucking Republicans. And y'all be like, oh, you just following what your family said they was, as far as being a Democrat. No, I look at shit like that. Why they want to fucking kill us? Their kids ain't eating that shit. They got enough money that they gotta cook that shit from scratch. They got their own garden.
I'll tell you one thing. You let me get down there and get one of those dark-skinned women. Oh my God, that's my flavor right there.
But what I love them.
Tar. I'm talking about.
I'm talking about black.
Sudan.
Y'all talk about Lupita.
But what?
Y'all talk about Lupita, dog.
I'm talking about both sides of his screen black.
Exactly. Like my son is black. Yeah.
Y'all lying, motherfuckers.
Yeah. My lady black and beautiful.
That's right.
They are beautiful. Yo, their skin. I can't rave enough about them. Their skin, their bodies. Talking about bodies. Shit.
What's that girl? What's that girl that played Wakanda with the braids?
Lupita.
One of the famous ones.
I like the older lady. I like her.
Lupita. Oh, you talking about Angela Bassett?
No, not Angela Bassett.
Lupita, the one that had his son. Oops, my bad.
The one that went under the water. Did you see it?
Went under the water. Who went under the water? I did see Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Who went under wait a minute. That was his sister. The one who played his sister. Her, yeah.
And she stayed in Haiti.
Huh?
And she was in Haiti. She stayed in Haiti. They went and picked her back up.
Yes, well, she went to visit Haiti. Right. That's where Lupita stayed.
Right. Yeah, her.
That she. I see you smiling. I see you smiling when you talk about the sister. Shout outs to the Queen Wakanda. What you say? Sign you up right now.
Sign you up.
Sign you up.
I'm gonna tell y'all who I used to love, but it's black and sexy as a motherfucker. That girl from Belly.
I can't remember.
DMS girlfriend, the one from Belly.
Yeah, I remember her. Oh yeah, I remember her. Yeah, I remember her. Damn. Oh, you pulled that one up. You pulled that one up.
That motherfucker with them lips, boy. Ooh, shit.
See, I don't remember. I remember that movie, but not like y'all guys remember that.
Remember they were arguing, then he took in the room, smashed, and then she cooked breakfast and shit afterwards.
They gave us. You trying to say he gave us some act right?
Yeah.
Act right, you cook right.
I hear you over there, Miss ATL. Look. Remember Gone with the Wind? See, look, you ain't even got to get explicit in the movie. Remember when what's her name, Vivian Lee? Y'all always hear me quote her. That's one of my favorite movies. She woke up in the morning. She gave herself a stretch up one morning, yawning. You know what I'm saying? And then she said, "Fiddly dee." Basically, but this movie was made in the early part of the 20th century, so they couldn't show no hard shit. But the night before, Rex, scooped her up and took her upstairs and was like, "You need to be kissed and kiss more often." So we know that Rex put that in the pipe, and she woke up in the morning like fiddly dee and all that stretching and shit, all happy and everything. I was like, "Oh, Rex, Captain Butler." Willie Beeman. That's how I look. That can give you some act right. That can give you some act
That's
right.
exactly what happened in Belly.
So she had dinner on the table. First she had the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner. She probably had.
You don't remember when DMS had came home and she's like, she had talked to the girl on the phone. He was cheating. And she's like, "Who is her?" "Yeah, I heard she was sucking your little ding-a-ling in the car."
Yeah.
He was like, "I don't know that girl. I don't know that girl. Get your ass in the room."
Yeah, I remember that.
And then that's she was in there making tacos and shit.
He said it's just that simple. It's just that simple.
And she played on the Bronx Tale too.
Oh, okay. I know her then. I remember her. Oh, okay.
That was her first movie, I think, A Bronx Tale. Collageno.
Yeah, that movie is real famous. Everybody referred to that damn movie. That movie.
I remember watching that as a kid. That made me want to go fight somebody.
I don't know, but like I said, I like a romance type movie where it happened, but you don't necessarily got to show everything. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't put it down. There was a meme on Facebook, and it had an old school stove, like one of them old school gas pallet stoves, and the caption said, "Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Stove."
Hell no.
To all the women, I thought that shit was so funny. But basically, get in the kitchen, get the pots to clicking. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, if you have a guy that can affect you, so shit, y'all can get anything out of us for real. Shit, I ain't even gonna lie. I agree with you. Look, I just start reminiscing. Let me start reminiscing.
Hey,
What you say? What you say?
Snap out of it.
You say yes. Yeah, exactly. Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
Right? She hit me with the moonstruck. Snap out of it. I was like, God damn, yeah. I remember 19. but that shit.
She about to close the show down. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Hey, look, I gotta make a few calls. It's gonna be some furniture moving. I'm just playing with y'all. But that's the latest on the boxing news or the boxing front. It's a lot of power moves being made. Do y'all got anything else before we close it out? It's 2 hours, but it ain't a lot. But I'm telling y'all, keep y'all eyes on that WBA. Watch them like a hawk.
All right, I'm gonna see what's up.
Anybody fight this weekend?
Chocolito,
Is it him? Yeah.
Chocolito and somebody else. I forgot this guy name.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I ain't promote my boy. Look, take y'all asses out there and go get this motherfucking fight. Get this motherfucking fight. Y'all want to set a trend for $40 fights. Y'all don't want to keep paying $75 for a fight. Exactly. If you can't, hey, go to your Roku. You don't have to look at it on your tablet, phone, or computer. Go through your Roku and add it as an app.
I'm gonna go live with your ass.
You know what? I wish I knew. Let me tell y'all, I don't have a lot of buttons over here, but I wish I knew how to get fancy with it. Like if I could block people and let only certain people in, you damn right I'll play the fight and we all be looking at it. But I can't do this shit. I don't know how to do it.
Me either.
I wish I knew how to do it, but don't let me find out. Don't let me find out.
I tried to do it one day. I got like 1,000 watches. Motherfucker said, video stop. Cut my shit off.
Man, when they was giving Showtime away for free, I thought, oh, everybody can get it for free. The motherfuckers hit me hard. Knocked me down. PGH? I mean, knocked me all the way the fuck out. Remember, I was out for almost 2 weeks. They took my email address, everything. I was like, I had to eat humble pie like a motherfucker. Thank God I go to college because I know how to write formal letters. I know how to write formal letters. And that's what I did. I wrote a formal letter and they kissed my ass. I can say that now. I'm off probation. They came, my bag, my bag, Miss T, the grandest of them all. Let me give you back your shit. Yeah, all I said is, I said something basic, but I was like, I pleaded my case. I didn't overly cry about it. I made sure my grammar was correct. I set it up the way it formally supposed to do it with the greetings and the salutations and all that stuff in between. Dude, I was hitting on point. And I keep my books after I take a college class. And you know where I learned that shit at? A typing class. If you take typing in college, not only would you learn how to do formal shit, you will learn how to type, of course, but it's like another English class on a heightened level.
I swear to God, I failed that class 3 times.
Hey, ain't it hard though?
I hate computers. I hate
it hard. Look, AT, I ain't mad at you because I almost failed that bitch.
I failed that motherfucker 3 times. The teacher was like, man, just go ahead.
Let me tell you what saved me. COVID happened. And so when we couldn't go to class, this when they first started like not letting us go to school because of COVID or make people stay home. I use that to my advantage. So I was home all day. I said, fuck the other class. I had to say, fuck 2 other classes and take a L on them bitches. That's how hard typing class is.
I hate it.
ATL ain't lying.
I hated that.
He ain't lying. I consider myself a geek.
You come in class, they be all quiet and shit. You sitting in front of the computer.
Man.
You give your ass a paper. You don't know what the fuck going on. I was like, man.
And they timing you and shit. Thank God. I used to take typing and business in high school, so I always could type like 50 words a minute or something.
Hey, for the test, I was playing the lotto.
And they come in there, she be like, yeah, type this up. You got 2 minutes. What, bitch?
They gave me that test. I'm just got an A, C, A.
Yeah, not to mention our eyes ain't working that good. We gotta scratch up and shit.
I need glasses right now.
Damn.
Straight up.
Young folks was passing and lapping my ass. That's all I could do is I think I got a high C.
I can't even see my phone shit no more. I gotta watch my computer to get and see what the fuck's going on.
That's another reason why they call me caps, because I gotta put everything in caps because I can't read it if it's a regular word. I'm serious, yo. I gotta put it in caps, yo. That's why I put it in caps.
Yeah.
Wrong.
That shit your mama told you, stop reading in the dark.
For
Yep.
real.
Came back and bit you in the ass, didn't
Yeah.
it? PGH, what's going on, brother? Salute. He said salute Queen T. Queen T. I know he gonna say Bud signed a contract or something like that. Yes, indeed. BLK Prime all day. PGH said, ain't nobody buying that shit. Look at this nigga right there. PGH, I'll say this about you. You consistent as hell. You better buy it, PGH. Stop being a hater all your life. But yo, that type of class, so the lady let me go home with the book because she left the class early and then she wasn't there. Her office was closed, so I took the book home, right? I tried to give her back, but she acted like I had the cooties or something because she didn't want to take the book back, so I kept it. She said, I'll get it back from you later. Then when I try to give it back, it's the teacher's book. But I got that motherfucker over here, and let me tell you, I pulls it out for everything. And when I had that trouble, because I had trouble with CBS, it was a Showtime event, but Showtime is owned by CBS. That's followed by Paramount. And overall, the biggest ownership would be Disney. Ain't that funny?
Yeah.
Disney own all that shit. And Disney, they just changed CEOs and stuff. So look for some big changes coming down because they said that dude who was running it is fucking up.
Yeah, you know, I heard about all that.
Yeah,
that's
so
when we were talking about it earlier. I was like, shit, I wouldn't go to no Disneyland right now unless they change up the management. From what I've been hearing going on,
they did change it. It was some guy named Bob Shabank or some shit like I can't pronounce his last name, but the old school Disney CEO, they brought him back. His name is Bob Iger or something like that. I think we're talking about Disney, yeah. But Paramount is going to keep all the Showtime programming, like their TV shows, their movies that they play and everything. What's up in the air is whether they're going to keep the boxing. If they scrap the boxing, like Fred said, now this one, what I be saying, Fred tried to tell y'all, he said the app is the future. Just don't make that motherfucker difficult like ESPN Plus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I'll give up on that shit.
Like this fight, you only got to pay $40, but you don't got to buy the subscription. You don't have to.
I don't have to put
ESPN Plus, you got to buy.
Who on the undercard?
It's Chris Cyborg, somebody named Nelson. I can't remember everybody, but it's something for everybody. She gonna bring a lot of MMA people.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be good. ATL, it's gonna be good. But
there's gonna be a couple fights out the ring. I can see that.
Even if it's just a Bud and Ebenezer fight, just to see a professional boxing event, right. It's worth $39. I mean, and then Fred was like, and y'all was down in Bud. Think about all the things that these other YouTube creators were saying that wasn't gonna happen. People like a PGH when they be like, "Oh, he's not fighting. That ain't legit. He didn't get no 10 million. He not even sanctioned.
Still ain't no legit fight, but okay.
He ain't getting no commission. He ain't blah blah blah. How's not? I mean, we can feel how we want, but the dude is a legitimate boxer, professional, and he's ranked in the top 10.
He beat Josh Kelly, right?
I don't know. See, I don't even know his fights. He
beat Josh Kelly, man. He put him down to the ground. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, he's coming off a 6 knockout streak.
Yeah.
Whether we feel that he's all that or not,
that means he's in his sweet spot.
He's ranked in the top 10.
Yeah,
he's a real boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's a funny switcher when he switches. I've been watching that shit. I'm like, okay. You know, it's just funny on some of the angles. Instead of blocking off the ring, like somebody block the ring off, he'll get out in an angle. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, he better switch real. He better switch real nice.
Yeah,
he better switch real nice.
He better not knock Crawford out.
Dog, I'm gonna say this right now, ATL, I'm gonna sit here and let you join me and I ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing. I probably
He
put
better
on
not
a dunce
Crawford.
hat.
And if he
I
does,
mean, like, if he does, he does.
it's a,
I
it's a,
don't guarantee that Crawford. I don't give him 100% with nobody he fight that he gonna win. I never do,
Miss
and
T.
that's one of my favorite fighters.
Miss T.
I
What's
agree.
up?
He better not Crawford out.
Well, you know what? Spence better not get dealt with by Keith Thurman.
Miss T. You know, if Crawford get knocked out, I'm gonna be on every show every night as soon as you hop
Oh, I'm
on.
sure you will.
If you hop on here,
And and ain't nothing we can really say because again, anybody who get in the ring with Crawford do have a chance, but it just always turn out to be what it's gonna be.
I'd be mad if he lost though. But you know, I'm gonna be on
Look at
your
this
ass.
nigga. Look at PGH. Duck, you ain't got to be on my ass because I'm telling you, ain't no 100%. I've never seen this dude fight, so I can't even speak.
I'm gonna look at him fight
intelligently
when
about
you get off here. I'm gonna see what he working with.
Yeah, I probably have to go research him too. I can't even speak intelligently about him. But look at PGH. Duckford is going to Duck Spencer Jr. He fighting Amnesia and then AB Trash. Come on, PGH. Amnesia got slept by green beans. So if he MC level ass ain't worth pay-per-view.
Yeah, he lost
Well,
about 3 times early in his career. He
but
lost about 3 times. You know, it is what it is, man. A lot of people losing, they still good.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you the best wasn't Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia pay-per-view, right? They were pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's his best pay-per-view. Yeah, it was because he got the highest 350. That's his highest pay-per-view. And I promise you, that fight was only worth a free TV fight. It was to me.
Amnesia.
No, Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia.
Oh no, I'm
pretty
looking
much,
up the fight.
Oh yeah, I was saying that fight was worth just a regular.
I was
free
trying to find him.
pay-per-view.
I forgot my shit wasn't on mute.
President Jafar said, same way, tall shirt Keith better not outbox her. That is more likely to happen. Don't duck me, son. Don't duck me. Yeah, we gonna see. I don't know. Look, Keith Thurman, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you even listening, you better go vegan right the fuck now. Cause if Earl gets you anywhere in that gut, it's tomatoes for you. It's done. It's done. Because I'm telling you, like I told y'all, I know what's wrong with Keith. I done seen a nigga eat before. I was like,
This
God
nigga name
damn.
won't even pop up in the damn shit.
The what?
I said his name won't even pop up.
Hey y'all, I'm like deciding to keep my PlayStation 5 because China got some issues right now.
But what super issues?
Yeah, they got some super issues. I don't know what the fuck going. I don't keep up with the news, but I know sometimes I look at something. But
No, they going crazy over there.
Yeah, they going through some shit.
The whole country is fucking protesting right now.
Yeah, so they might not even be,
Taiwan?
Huh?
Is that about Taiwan?
What happened?
I don't know. Taiwan and that been a long time problem. They have never. Biggest China is they could have been beat the fuck out of Taiwan, but they don't fuck with them. What Trump did that was fucked up is Trump recognized them as a different entity
instead of allies.
Nobody's not supposed to do that because your country ain't shit until a superpower recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not legit, and they was happy with that status like that, but Trump don't understand politics, so he was giving recognition to like North Korea and Taiwan when he shouldn't have. So I don't know if it was stuff that popped off from that, because once Joe Biden was in like 6 months, I stopped watching politics. I just couldn't take it anymore. It stressed me out. What's up?
Can you post that fight thing again so I can see how to spell Alanesian name?
Yeah, Ebenesian.
Ebenesian. Oh shit.
Ebenezer.
Scrooge.
There you go. Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
But then I see how Q and all them be calling him avocado and amnesia and hot
My niece
and
and them.
shit like that. He said President Jafar said Trump violated the one China policy, so USA has to follow suit.
Said,
Yeah, we fucking locked in. Yeah. And with that chip shit, China ain't go. Listen, y'all think we got a shortage now? That's why I say I don't know who. Do Japan make PlayStation 5s? I don't know. That shit be over there. So I'm not fucking around. I'm not giving my PlayStation 5 away. I was gonna give it away, but ain't no guarantee I'm gonna get it real quick. Get it back. And I'm telling you, like, my daughter is so lucky. she put in for one last year, like let's say November 1st. Before November ended that same year, she got a call back. If we got our first PlayStation 5. And then they invited her this year. She didn't even ask for it. I said, girl, take that invite. I'm buying it this time. And that's how I got mine.
He got power.
They invited her, and she didn't even ask for it. But I ain't gonna fuck. Yeah. Y'all heard when that boxing game coming out? Yeah, she got power.
Next year, I know.
It's shit. I need to know. That's what I'm waiting on it for.
They said early next year. That's what they said.
He said Taiwan is a part of China, not a sovereign state. In a sense, yes, but no, it's not. Like there's a divide with them.
Man, Beijing, everybody over there banging. They ain't playing right now.
He said Nancy Pelosi did a bunch of crap.
Look it up on YouTube.
So both sides wilding with China.
Look up China. Look up China. What you would call it right now? Protests.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
They going ham over there.
I believe it, but y'all ain't gonna finna put this jacket on Pelosi. Y'all gonna leave this woman alone. Crawford boxing Spence and do what village hanging with some leprechauns. What?
Hell no.
Tiger Mall's village's name.
Oh shit.
Haunted Spence. Do you got everything you need from the banner? So look, y'all.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching him now.
Go to your Roku.
He don't like no hoe.
See, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, he ain't no hoe, Miss T.
He ain't no hoe. Well, I gotta go watch him. Shit,
damn.
Told you he be doing some shit.
Dirty. Ooh.
He in his sweet spot right now. Sometimes they get a sweet spot.
Yeah.
They're figuring shit out. I think
he threw a towel in.
Nigga, what fights you watching?
Is it Josh Kelly?
I'm watching his highlights.
The Josh Kelly? He beat
his last 6 fights.
He curled that nigga up. He curled him up.
He curled
you know what they said? Keith Thurman didn't want to fight him. They said Bruce Ennis didn't want to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's who David Hachu is.
Hey man, and he coming for you. He ain't bagging up or nothing.
I don't think this is gonna be an easy fight for Crawford.
Watch his waist. Watch him stance. Watch his stance in some of his movies.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
You'll see it. Don't even look up. Just look from the waist down. If they show the waist down, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
He said Trump made a phone call. Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan, Darren, China, Miss T.
Oh shit.
Look, China been Trump had a point, y'all. Look, I didn't want to speak up for Trump, but he had a point with some of the shit that China was doing. He's not the man to be president. He ain't smart enough, y'all. He an awesome criminal, but he cannot hold that office because his way of getting back at China, and I don't blame him for being mad at China. I blame him for a lot of shit, but not that. But his way of getting back at him cost us. They told him it's only gonna hurt us. Don't do a tariff war. That's what the fuck he did.
So let me ask you, T,
go ahead.
What Ukraine and Russia.
It's a good fight for Terrence.
Come on, it's going to be basically the same thing. And you know what I noticed?
God,
Every time I watch the media, is always Ukraine winning.
man.
Ukraine is winning. Ukraine is winning. Russia's backing down. But it's a lot of propaganda because I know Russia's twice as big as them. I don't get it. And China's the same thing with
Russia.
China's same.
Russia got a
So
lot
it is.
of land, but China do got a lot of people.
Ooh, body blow. Ooh.
Yeah, China, they could take them anytime, like you said, anytime. So it is what it is. They got to go back to the motherland, both of them, regardless if you like it or not. That's what it is. You got to get united, and we get 90%.
We lost some internet.
90% of their chips, 90% of their microchips over there.
That's why they telling us. That's why they telling us now. We need to be self-sufficient of our own microchips, because that monkey stopped the show for a minute. It stopped the show, and we don't need to go through that again.
What
but
these
you know,
what these corporations do, they take their blood-sucking asses and go somewhere else with their shit and make their profit. They don't bring nothing back to feed us. They feed them.
That's why I was mad when Trump won, because Hillary had a plan for that shit. All the motherfuckers that got tax breaks and shit, she was like, you can't leave for like 5-10 years, say you let us get our money worth. But that's what they do. They take, let me tell you, in order for you to be a superpower and a great economical state, meaning country, you have to survive off of free labor. This is why America is a superpower, because we had slavery.
That's right.
Minty.
They ain't gonna never tell you that, but that's
Minty.
the truth. What's up, ATL?
I might have to buy that fight from watching his highlights.
Hey, look, it's for sale.
Watching David Allen highlights. Yeah, I might have to watch that.
Yeah, look, all y'all hate, but y'all need to go ahead and buy, because hey, this might be y'all night.
I just watched that man highlights. Hey, he ain't playing.
Yeah.
That Russian.
But see, that's why I like you, ATL. Something, you'll come through sometimes.
I just watched it, man. Hey, now that the way he was just the way what I just seen. Hey, yeah, okay.
This guy,
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
He's not, but you know what? They're gonna come back and say he ain't got no resume. That ain't nothing. He's David Achu. I ain't
even going off that. I'm going off of what I just seen him in the ring.
Right. Now I gotta go look at him. I think everybody that Bud faced that could have gave him problems. I think Bud is just that superior.
Cap, you seen him fight before? Did you watch his highlights?
He said he seen him.
Who, me, Cap? Me? Yeah. I see him.
Okay.
I see some loopholes, but I still see like he's aggressive. He comes in. He'll come forward, southpaw or orthodox. He comes forward both ways, and then he probably switch off on an angle or some shit. He know how to shake and bake in there, yo.
He real tricky, yeah.
Tricky, he good.
But that's why I say Boost had turned him down. Keith Thurman had turned him down. Yes. This is what they say.
Damn.
I don't know. That's why I'm saying they say. Don't know if it's true. That's gossip.
No. All right. Boost could be.
But Boost a switch hitter too. Everybody switch hitter, but can they switch hit good? But like I said, you get people like Boots, you get people like Earl, and you get people like Bud. No matter how good their opponents are, they make them look mediocre.
But the thing with Boots that makes him a natural is like they had an interview with him. He said, I could write with both hands. Now I'm southpaw. I can only write with my left hand. I can't write with right hand. So
me either.
It's natural to
when they say people, what they say, people who write with their left hand is very intelligent.
I write with my left hand, but I don't do nothing else with my right hand. I mean, with my left hand.
Right. But yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I could do things southpaw and I could do some things right-handed. And I noticed that southpaws do a lot of switching more than orthodox switching. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a little bit something between them two, but it's possible.
I don't know. I think it's kind of natural. Let me say why, because I just had surgery on my right hand. So when my right hand was down, I really use my southpaw skills like that, but I ain't had but my left hand. So
See? And you got the story.
doing it.
You got the story of Bud Crawford because the same thing happened to him.
Yeah.
He broke his hand, right? And the trainer was like,
and walked around for a week with a broke arm and hand.
The trainer said, "You want to start? You don't want to work out?" He said, "No, I want to work out." Worked out on the southpaw stance. He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
He didn't want to tell his mama or something. Like,
right.
I think he was saying he was gonna get in trouble. He didn't want her to know. He broke
Right.
it. He walked around for a minute with that shit broke. Still was using it and everything. I knew a guy like that when we was young. He did something to one of his arm. Man, that bitch was strong as a bitch.
Damn.
That thing was damn strong as hell. But it was all locked. It didn't hang like it should. Like how you let your arm down. His was locked.
And my
almost
neighbor,
like, you know, like a man.
My neighbor here, professional boxer. He from out there. Where they from? Where Boots and them from? What's that?
Philly.
Yeah, Philly out that way. So we used to spar together all the time. And when I messed my right hand up, he was like, "Shit, you don't stop now. You just work on your left hand. You know what I'm saying? Get your craft on your left hand." And that's what I did.
You know what I do good on my left side for some reason? I don't know. I don't even know if this is talent. I balance well. I can't write with my left hand, but I can balance anything on my left side of my body. You know, I even like walk softly. I should be stomping through the room. I can sneak up on you as long as I move mostly to my left. I don't know what the fuck that is. But that's the only thing I can do with my left side. But you know, it's strong. And like if I had to hold myself up now as a woman, of course I don't got upper body strength. But I remember when I was younger, if I had to hold myself up, I could hold myself up with my left side more than I could my right.
Right.
But if I'm throwing them haymakers, it's all the right all day.
You're orthodox.
Huh?
You orthodox.
Yeah. When I get in the fighting position, I got my right hand forward.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's the comfortable way. But I know I need to be with my left hand forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
and that's how I was before I hurt my hand. Like I was fighting like I was like really my stance was like a southpaw, but you know I'm naturally right-handed. I just left-handed. You know what I'm saying? So it was weird. I had to learn that shit. It was crazy, but I did.
Yeah, but we're gonna get out of here. It's 2 hours 32 minutes. I had fun talking with y'all fellas as usual. Thanks, Miss ATL, for letting me borrow. Look, thank you, ladies, for let me borrow y'all dudes. Smack them around a bit. I be smacking their ass around a bit. All right, man. Thank y'all for listening. Make sure y'all go and get that fight, that Bud Crawford fight.
Hit the like, subscribe. Hey, subscribe to Caps and Full G. Subscribe to the Queen Miss T. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Subscribe to ATL Unanimous. He got a channel too. All three of us got a channel.
Oh, definitely.
So make sure y'all subscribe. Show your black love.
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
I subscribed to you earlier, so you'll see me on there.
I gotta see you on the chat. Look.
Already.
We gonna hit our Pamela James voice. Peace.